You know what? I ain't even gonna lie, Cole. I am much more at peace with where the season ended for the Cavs than I imagined I'd be when the playoffs started. Like, I thought I'd be furious. And you know what? I thought I'd feel like how we felt that first half of that Orlando game, where we were ready to say all of the crazy stuff, right? We all tweeted some shit. We all tweeted some fury, some frustrations out there, right? And we thought that was going to be what the season was for the Cavs. Because we can't forget, coming into the playoffs, this shit looked bad. Really bad.
It did.
Right? Like, we didn't know if Donovan Mitchell was going to show up. We were pretty confident that we weren't going to get much from Darius Garland based on his past performances in this season. And it didn't feel good. But you know what? If they could retain Donovan Mitchell, I feel better. Because one, and I think this is the most important thing. We'll get into all the other stuff, right? Because there's a ton to get into with the Cavs. The most important thing with Donovan Mitchell was we needed to see him be a superstar in these playoffs, right? Because this whole thing makes no sense if Donovan Mitchell cannot be a superstar in the playoffs. Do you agree with me?
I do agree with you.
Yeah. Like, if you cannot rely on Donovan Mitchell to do what he did in the last, 4 games that he played, where he dropped 30 pretty consistently and just had some dominating performances, this thing doesn't make any sense. And that's why I was worried. Because, hey, man, until that fourth quarter in game 5, it looked like we needed to be worried about if that was going to happen anymore for him. Like, I know I took flack for being close to out by that point, but like, dog, how can anybody blame me? Were they not watching what was going on in the playoffs the last 3 years? Like, I hate when like you get proven wrong and like I'm fine with it, right? But then people like don't let it go as if you didn't have a significant reason to believe what you believed in. And like, were we not on the same page when it comes to Donovan Mitchell in game 5? We were like, hey, dog, we gonna need it. Like, and if you ain't got it now, like, I get the knee was hurting, but you got to do it, dog. Like, and he did it.
Look, man, you had every right to be worried. Let's be honest. Let's be clear about something. Jared Allen was looking like the best player on the Cavs those first 4 games against them. Like, he was looking like, okay, I got it. I took a step. Lights too bright last year, not looking like it's too bright this year.
Here's how we knew we were in trouble. Jared Allen went down, and we weren't like, hey, but we still got Donovan Mitchell. We were like, damn, that changes the series. Like, no disrespect to Jared Allen.
It did change the series. They probably would have got that done in like 6 games if he was out there. But those last 3 games against the Magic, and he played the first 2 against Boston?
We can't revise this. The last 2 games in a quarter. Okay.
My fault.
No, because he wasn't just bad at the start of game 5. He was awful like in the first half. He was 0 for 7 from 3.
Okay, my fault.
Yeah, like
two and a quarter games.
Yeah, I texted you. This is from your assessment. Hey, dog, is it as bad as it looks? It's worse. Okay.
I did say that. I didn't go cap. I did say that, and I said that right before he started going.
You're like, oh fuck, you just made some good shots. I was like, okay. I guess that's where we're at, but. Yeah, we got to be very honest with what happened in that series. He was not good until that fourth quarter. Like,
game 6 and game 7, great performances.
There it is. That's where I was like, I'm not concerned anymore. And then you know what? For good measure, showed up in both those first 2 games in the Celtics series.
The Celtics series, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was good. So I wouldn't be worried about his performances going forward. I wouldn't be worried about his ability to be a superstar and to be able to score a bunch of points in a playoff series. I wouldn't be worried
Mhm.
about that. The Cavs are good with that. But the Cavs got a lot of other shit you got to be a little bit worried about if you're a fan, dog.
We gonna
Like,
get there.
they got a lot of other stuff you probably need to be worried about
Hmm.
if you're a fan. But and listen, whether or not Donovan Mitchell stays, let's just get into that. Let's just get into that now, because since we already talked about it, it looks like at least from basically what we saw since their season ended, there's a better chance of him staying than I think people gave the Cavs credit for. It looks like they got a pretty decent chance of him staying now.
I would like to clarify who people is.
Go
Because
ahead.
it
Go
wasn't
ahead.
this podcast. Okay. It wasn't the homie Tony. Okay.
Hey, shout out Tony Pesta. Shout out Tony
Hey,
Pesta.
we were out here being like, oh well, he hung out with somebody in Boston. Like, no, that wasn't us. We were
Oh,
like, hey dog, when we gonna talk about how it makes no sense for the Knicks to go after him? Like,
we literally, hey, after the Knicks traded for OG Anunoby, we were like, hey, where's Donovan Mitchell gonna go?
yeah,
Because he
we're
can't go.
like,
He can't go to the Knicks.
we literally were like, wait, he gonna go to the Nets or he probably gonna stick with the Cavs. Like,
Like, where's he gonna go? Where's he gonna go? Like, that's off the table now. Like, what is he gonna do? Hey,
mm-hmm.
but I do want to say this. And shout out to Chase Down Pod. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Chase Down Pod. They was on it too. They've been saying it for a while. It's like, we'll see what happens. But it looks like he's open to staying, but it kind of feels like conditional. You know what I'm
It
saying?
should.
It kind of feels like conditional. It's like, I'll stay. And he said that he felt like the Cavs made progress this year. He said he felt like they regretted they didn't have everybody against the Celtics. He's
Mm-hmm.
like that he thought that would have made a little bit of a difference in the series if everybody could have went. But he also said he didn't, he not here to just make it to the second round.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it kind of feels conditional. It kind of feels like if you listen to what Woj was saying when he said he talked to Donovan, said he was happy in Cleveland. He's been happy in Cleveland since he came here. All that stuff is well and good, but he kind of left it open like this ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? And
He's saying what
so
we all saying. This current iteration of them is not
it's
enough.
it's
But
not
there
good
are
enough.
some pieces that are intriguing enough to where he's not going to be ready to go on the first thing going. And that was the whole issue I think a lot of us took with the whole tone of Donovan Mitchell's potential free agency was that people were like assuming that, yeah, of course he's going to get out of Cleveland. Why would he want to stay there? It's like it's Jamie Collins on the 2015 Browns or some shit. I was like, dog, we not that stinky. Like that, I think that was the issue. It's not the possibility that he could go somewhere else, right? I think we all acknowledged that was a possibility. It was just like, why are we assuming this is inevitable that he leaves? Like it didn't feel like an inevitability. Now look, yeah, it does feel on some level like he's saying, hey, it's conditional. I'm fine now, but it's conditional. It should be, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's be real. Cavs won them rings and LeBron's second stay. Now, what did LeBron always make it clear to Dan Gilbert in that second stay? What did he go out of his way to make only this one place? Okay, like let's keep this in mind. He signed a long-term deal, I think two in Los Angeles.
He said 1-1
He
every year.
signed a long-term deal in Miami, but he ain't never did that with the Cavs. Okay,
1+1.
yeah, 1+1 every year. Because it was like, hey, dog, we have to have a real conversation about the Cavs organization.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
We have to have a real conversation because
Hey, you wanna talk about it? You wanna talk about it? You wanna talk about something? Or you want me to talk about
what do you want to talk about?
it? Okay, so let's break this down since we're talking about where he's gonna go or where he could potentially lead the Cavs to go. Right.
Mhm.
Think of all the teams that have been linked to him this entire time. First one was the
Mm,
Knicks,
I see
completely
where you're
off,
going.
completely off the table, completely off the table now. So you don't have to worry about that. Don't have to worry about that. Second
Yes.
one is the Nets. I'm gonna keep it a being with you. He not going there.
You don't think he want to play with Ben Simmons and
He's
Mikal Bridges?
he would
Well,
not
that's not
he
even Mikal, but the other Bridges.
yeah, it's Mikal Bridges. It's
It's
Mikal
Mikal.
Bridges. It's Mikal.
Oh,
Miles
it's
is in
Miles
Charlotte.
Bridges. Okay.
Miles is in Charlotte. He's the one who's in
Yeah.
Charlotte. He not leaving the Cavs to go to the Brooklyn Nets. That's not happening. 100% not happening. They're a worse organization. They're a significantly worse team. If they had to trade for him, they're not going to get any better.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? After they gave up the assets, they're not going to be any better. He ain't going there.
No.
He ain't go there. So the New York teams, you can rule them out. He not going there.
If he trying to get out the second round, he not going to the fucking Nets.
He's not going to the
They
fucking
couldn't
Nets.
get out the second round with KD and
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
And James Harden got hurt, but James Harden was hurt. But still, couldn't get out the second round.
James Harden was like the only one that wanted to hoop there for a minute during COVID. Like James was sitting there like, hey, bro, don't nobody want to just do the stuff? All right, bro. Like, I guess it's just me. Like,
if they couldn't get out the second round with them three, brother, they not gonna get out the second round with you, Mikal Bridges, and Ben Simmons. It's not gonna happen.
You are not either of those players.
Like y'all not getting out the second round. That's not happening.
No.
So that leaves two teams. I'm gonna just get this out the way personally, so nobody says I'm being a homer or whatever. The Lakers are one of the teams. I'm gonna be honest. Probably ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, ain't got it.
Probably ain't gonna happen. Unless he actively tried to force his way to the Lakers. That's not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying?
Dan Gilbert is petty.
Dan
Gilbert is also the man who vetoed the Chris Paul trade. Like,
I hate that you reminded me about that.
Out of pure hateration. Out of 100% pure, unfiltered hateration. Like, that man is not trading his best player to the Lakers. Okay.
Hey, we need to talk about Dan too. We need to talk about Dan a little bit later. And I hate that you reminded me about that. I let that go for so long. And you just you just brought it back up. I hate that you did that. But we'll move on. There's one team, if I was a Cavs fan, I would be worried about. In my opinion, is the Miami Heat. It's the only team you should be worried about. That, like, if he leaves, to me, that is where he's going. Like, that is the one threat to the Cleveland Cavaliers in my mind, if he decides to leave. You got to think about it when he's like, hey, in the last half decade, they've been to 2 NBA finals. They literally just went last year.
How old is Jimmy though?
Jimmy is old. I think he's like 33. Like 33.
He was like, yeah, because he was one of them dudes who went to school for a couple years.
Yeah, Jimmy's old. He's like 30. You know what I'm saying?
So that's a problem.
That's kind of an issue.
Bam is up at like 28, 29.
He probably like 28. Yeah, like 28.
I have not watched a lot of Miami Heat basketball. Maybe you've seen more than me, but the way people talk about Bam is not the same that they talked about him a couple of years ago.
I mean, Bam's still really good. He's still really, really good. You know what I'm saying? He's like all-star caliber player. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's good.
It's interesting when the players on the like rise to their potential. People like they get carried away with the hope of that player, and they're like, "Oh, Bam! If you drop him in the '90s, he's a superhero." Hold on one second.
Oh, okay. So, shout out my homie Mac. I appreciate it. Shout out Mac Robinson, 92.3 fan. Shout out my guy. He just corrected me a little bit. Bam is 26. Personal calls on the pod. Oh man.
Hey man. The YouTube channels ain't the only thing that I manage. All right.
No, I feel you. Hey, I feel you. Hey, but shout out to Matt because he said Bam is 26. Jimmy's gonna turn 35.
Okay, so Jimmy is like legitimately fucking old.
Yeah, he's actually by NBA standards, he's actually ancient.
That's crazy. Like he's at the back. He's
But
at the vet.
this is what the Heat have going for him. Like I said, 2 NBA Finals appearances in the last 5 years. When you talk about the organization itself, Eric Spoelstra is probably the best coach in the NBA.
That is so wild that we've gotten here because, like, I always think of Eric Spoelstra as this unqualified dude.
When Bron was there,
coaching, and like he's now the most tenured coach other than Greg Popovich, and I'm like, that's nuts because he don't look like you know what it is? He don't look like he's gotten older. He ain't grown a beard. Like
nothing.
Pat Riley looks very different from when he was coaching the Lakers to when he was coaching the Heat. But somehow Eric Spoelstra still look like he coaching Chris Bosh. Like,
hey, salute to Spo, you know what I'm saying? But he legitimately, he's one of the 3 best coaches in the NBA. So that's a strong selling point, as opposed to JB Bickerstaff, and we're gonna get into that in a second.
Ooh, Jay, why are we even bringing him up like he still work here?
Okay. we gonna get there.
He ain't got that email yet, but I bet his shit don't work at the building no more. Like,
honestly, Pat Riley compared to Kobe Altman.
Is Kobe
who built a roster that doesn't fit at all?
Is Pat Riley, though, still the general manager, like, full-time, or is that kind of like a figurehead role? Because Pat's got to be like... Pat ain't young.
I mean, from what I can tell, Pat's still running the show up there.
Pat's still running the show?
Personnel-wise, I'm pretty sure he's still running the show.
Hey, man, all I'm going to say, and look, I'm not trying to be ageist, but it's going to be ageist. I'm sorry. Like... We seen what Phil Jackson was when he tried to come in and step in. And
I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Well,
Pat Riley is way better at building teams than Phil Jackson. Come on, dog. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying. Like, hey, no. Before he got to a certain age, we were all down with it. We thought he was gonna fix the Knicks.
And let's be real.
Then he hired Kirk Rambis. Okay.
Coaching and running a team, 2 totally different things. Different things.
That's true. That's true. I'm just saying, dog. I'm just saying.
I've been running that show for a while.
Who running that show in Utah right now?
Danny Ainge.
Yeah, that look like the same Danny Ainge. That fleeced the Nets. Like,
I feel what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Like,
you say the game passed them by? You say the game
at a certain point, you can't do this forever, is all I'm saying, right? Like, there is no such thing as an infinite run. Your run's going to end at some point. And we got to be realistic on Pat Riley. Like, he done had 2 runs, dog, but like, the last 2 finals appearances haven't been about the roster construction being excellent on the Miami Heat. It's just like, hey, Jimmy is playing like in Demon, okay? Like, and also the Celtics are folding, like, both times.
Both times,
okay? Like,
hey, give credit to Spo though. Like I said, best coach of it. He'll get the most out of whoever's on that team. Don't matter who it is. He gonna get the most out of it. Literally.
It's true. He is gonna get, but we have been talking about how badly constructed that Miami Heat roster has been for a while, right? Like,
they're in a weird spot. They're in that weird spot where, you know how teams need to be bad so they can get good young players, but they ain't never been bad enough to get the good. But Jaime Jaquez, really good. You know what I'm saying? He's really good, but for the most part, like, they just needed to be like bad for like a year or 2, just so they could get some high picks and get good players, and then they'd be fine.
Tell me Tyler Hero can't carry the team?
Absolutely not.
But yeah, I get what you're saying though, where Miami does have a more attractive infrastructure for Donovan Mitchell when it comes to who's running the team, which brings us to our next point. Y'all got to fire the coach and GM, bro. Like, I'm sorry. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Not all firings happen because you're terrible. Ask Dwayne Casey, right? Well, coach of the year, got fired. Why? Because ultimately, your imagination could not imagine a situation where you beat LeBron James, right? Like, that's what got him fired. They replaced him with Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse out there running them G League plays, and it won. Okay, like,
Hey, you left out a part. You left out one part. Brown went to the Lakers.
and that's also a huge part in this, right?
Brown went to the Lakers. I know Dwayne was sick. He was like, "Oh man, if I had one more year, one more
He wasn't going to do it.
I had one more year, we would have been all right. One more year."
Also
And-
underrated.
and
Underrated.
They got Kawhi too.
Underrated thing about Kawhi Leonard. A lot more difficult to coach than you would assume, right? From all accounts. Look, Pop had a hard time with it. Nick Nurse seemed to be the only one who could handle it. He was only there for a year, right? And then you hear the Paul George clips. Everybody laughs because it's like Kawhi Leonard voice, and it's hilarious, right? Where he's talking about how when you airball, you're supposed to like do some laps or something, and then Kawhi just destroys that whole thing. Where he's like, "What you mean? Like you not gonna make me afraid to airball? Like that's part of basketball. Like now you got them thinking about airballing, like." And I'm like, well, that coach is done. Like, he's done. He's done. Once Kawhi brings that up, and then people start like believing it, it's like, yeah, what you lost? That's how you lose the locker room. Like,
Yeah, it sounds like JB kind of lost the locker room here.
hey man,
From that Athletic article, there's a lot of stuff that I don't think people I didn't know was going on until I read it. They said they hate his practice habits, dog. Like, come on, man. How you hate practice habits? That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, they said all the stuff that like gets a coach fired.
Can we talk about what we talked about earlier in the season? I don't think people know.
What?
Do you remember? Because now this is what I text you. They were playing the Detroit Pistons when they were in the midst of the worst losing streak in NBA history. And I text you that multiple people who would know said that if they lost that game, JB was going to get fired right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if I'm lying. I text you and was like, hey, and they already blew a game to the Portland Trailblazers right before that. Donovan was playing like shit. JB basically benched him. He put Darius in. He let Darius run the show. They were down by double digits when he did it. They came back. They won a game. And he was the coach the rest of the year. They had already wanted to fire him early on in the season. They wanted to do it early on in the season.
There are a couple texts that we had early in the season that that feel a lot more substantiated now. Right.
We'll talk about this. We'll talk about the second one. We'll talk about the other one in a second. We'll talk about the other one in a second.
But I will tie this to that. I know the Darius Garland thing has been reported to be tied to Donovan Mitchell. But I think the reason that it's being tied to Donovan Mitchell is because they don't want to tie it to a sinking ship, which is JB. And I think, this is just my pure speculation, JB and DG were in each other's camps, right? Like, JB was one of the driving forces in getting that extension done for Darius Garland. He has always been somebody who sings the praises of him. And I think JB sees significant potential, more so than what most people see with Darius.
I think JB and DG actually did a podcast. I think they went on JJ Redick's podcast together to talk about the Cavs and, you know, how they turned it around for where they were in the rebuild and all of, like, they did a podcast together. Now I think about it. If you see them interact like on the sideline and stuff, like they're very close. You could tell they're very close.
JB has a role for DG, right? Like JB sees him as very vital, which is why he never took DG out in game during the playoffs when this man was like going through 0-8 spurts, right? Like it's just insane shooting splits that is like, okay, why are you sticking here? I think that dynamic is kind of the thing that started to pick at it, right? Because you have that whole dynamic going on where it's like, Donovan's clearly the best player, but like even when Donovan first got here, it took like 3 months for JB to be like, okay, well, Donovan gets to shoot the last shot. Remember that whole weirdness?
Mm-hmm. They
We
couldn't
were like,
close
what?
games.
Yeah, they
They
couldn't
couldn't close
close
games.
games because they couldn't decide who was the closer, right? Why are we making that decision? Like, you know, that's what you brought in Donovan Mitchell to do. So, and then when you look at like some of these moves that they've made, do they feel like moves that you do when you're building a team around Donovan Mitchell?
No.
Like, and I think Darius sees the writing on the wall here, right? It's not that they hate each other. I don't think that they hate each other. It's more or less, well, if JB's out and Donovan's back, this is now undoubtedly, unquestionably Donovan's team.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know how this goes in regular life and in sports. If you got to take a demotion, you ain't trying to take a demotion the same place you had a promotion from, right? Like you ain't trying to go from senior executive writer at your job to junior. Like nah. Just let me catch on somewhere else, dog. I'd rather just. I'm not about to go to the slot for you. I'll go into the slot somewhere else when I sign. Like it is one of those things that happens. And I think that's what's going on with Darius. I think Darius is going to be able to accept a smaller role. It's obvious that he has to accept that. It's just accepting that the same place where you felt like you were going to have a more featured role. I mean, that's just tough. It's just difficult to deal with. But Lynn, Ray Rags brings this up. Let's talk about this stupid ass trade room.
Okay. Hey, before we get into that, there is a point about the Donovan and Darius thing I do want to make that I found like kind of fascinating. You compare it to like taking it like the work thing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's more so. You ever had like a homie, and y'all grow up or whatever, like y'all in college, y'all want to live together, and this has been your homie for like forever, and like y'all, like every time y'all hung out, we was cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like you always hang out all together, like all the time and everything, and then y'all start living together.
And you realize homie don't respect the side of the room rules. And
he leave his drawers everywhere. Like he don't wash dishes. He don't.
It's always people in the room. You know,
like you know what I'm saying? You trying to chill, and then everybody be coming. Like, bro, what is we do? You just realize you can't.
Why
live
your
with
cousin think he could play my PlayStation? Like,
what's going on? What's going on, bro? What's going on? Like, I didn't know you live like this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you did this. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more so what the situation is. It's like, hey, it's not a personal thing. We just can't live together. The way you live your life, the way you live at home, and the way I live at home is two different things. Like we can't. It's not going to work. We're not compatible that way. And I think I think also I think it's funny. Rich, people were sending me that picture of Rich talking to Dan Gilbert. Both times he did it, and the one time in the Magic series, and then the second time when Bron was there against the Celtics, and it was like, "Oh, Bron coming back. Oh, how you going?" Let me tell y'all something. Bron ain't leaving. Like Bron's not leaving the Lakers. You don't want to know why Rich was here? Rich was complaining about Donovan. Rich is advocating for Darius Garland. That's the entire thing he was here for. He's like, "Hey, look, man, you're gonna have to pick one." You know what I'm saying? Because
also remember when Darius Garland got that extension, LeBron was excited on Twitter for that extension. Oh yeah, DG, get that money. Then when Donovan Mitchell got traded to Cleveland, we did not see the LeBron James congratulatory tweets that we usually see around the Cavaliers in these situations, right? Like it was kind of a questionable zero dark 23 on that one, right? Where it's like, he ain't put no emojis on that tweet. I know Brian old ass love emojis. Like, why he ain't put no emojis on that tweet? He don't know it's a spider emoji.
Like, that's all I'm saying. Y'all thought Brian was here to try to find a way to get back to Cleveland? No. If anything, he tried to get DG to the Lakers. That's what he tried to do. If anything, he here to be. He was like, "Hey man, if you sign an extension, you know what I'm saying?
What
We'll have a
do
deal.
y'all
We'll have a
have
deal
the
on the table."
offer for Derrick? Y'all got to get a third team. But y'all gonna try to pawn us off Rudy? Like,
Y'all don't like Austin Reeves? Y'all don't like D'Lo, Austin Reeves? Y'all don't like that? I'm playing.
why would we want D'Lo?
I'm playing now. Hey, have all the Lakers Twitters like, we rather have D'Lo than Darius. We good. We don't want that.
That's nuts because, like, hey, let me tell you something. Darius is not gonna be that bad again. Like, okay. Like I saw the stats comparing them. Like it was like, oh well, he's just like D'Lo. I'm like, this is the worst year of his life, and he's just like D'Lo. like,
But one thing I do understand, he is significantly cheaper to have on the team than Darius.
mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah. So he makes like half of what Darius makes.
Yeah, for a reason.
So I completely understand why people are like.
Also,
nah,
like if you got Darius Garland, like you gonna get more out of Rui. like imagine him with Anthony Davis. Like, yeah, that's gonna work. Like,
no, it's 100% gonna work. 100% gonna work.
Too bad y'all gotta get somebody else involved in that trade to make it happen. Like,
hey man, listen.
They got a single thing the Cavs want. Like,
y'all don't want a first round pick in 2029?
No, we gonna get ours back by 2029. Like,
it'll be valuable by then.
Yeah. We're gonna build around a 40-year-old Evan Mobley. No, get out of here, dog. Like, what you mean?
We got it, man. We got it. We can help you. We can help you out.
No, y'all got nothing. Literally, I looked down and up and down that roster like they got nothing. They got absolutely nothing, dog.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We got stuff. We got stuff.
Yeah, y'all got stuff that y'all ain't traded? Like Anthony Davis. Yeah. He's very valuable.
Hold on. Let's just relax. Let's relax.
See? Out here trying to get us to a yard sale. Like you got this shit from the thrift shop. Stop playing with me. I know you ain't draft Rui. Okay? Like,
oh man.
You ain't draft D'Lo. They none of the pieces you tried.
Did
you draft Austin Reeves?
We did.
Y'all did draft D'Lo.
We did,
but y'all gave up on him. Okay. And then took him back on some here. Take it, shit. Like, y'all wasn't even trying to get him. Like, we could have get Buddy Hield. All right, like.
We could have had Buddy Hield. You know, we could have had Buddy Hield.
That's it. No, we not taking D'Angelo Russell off of y'all. You drunk? Like, wasn't he part of the package to get rid of Russell Westbrook?
I think so. Actually,
yeah. Okay. So the ultimate here, take it. Like,
it's gonna be all right, man. It's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Not about to try to.
Y'all gonna love D'Lo after a while.
No, y'all not about to try to do that to us. Y'all not about to turn the Russell Westbrook trade somehow to the Darius Garland. Get the fuck out of here. Like, no. That is nuts. Again, you think Dan Gilbert gonna let that happen? He gonna veto that trade. What you mean? You're not about to trade somebody else that reminds people of Chris Paul to the Lakers. Oh my God! And you hired JJ Redick too? No. JJ Redick, who thinks he's Chris Paul too? No, it's not happening. Absolutely not.
Oh man.
Yeah. But again, these trade packages for Darius Garland have been like all over the place because like there are people who swear to me like, oh yeah, Darius, let's just get rid of him if we can. Like he's D'Lo, and I'm like, you're drunk, dog. Like, hey, like Darius has the possibility at the very least to dribble and create and get you 22. Like that's very valuable, and he can facilitate. Like.
We'll get into the trade, all the trade stuff in a second, but I feel like we need to get to these super chats real quick.
Oh yeah. All right. Ray Rag says, let's talk about the real reason for this stream. Minnesota might look in Garland And that could mean we get the greatest shooting big of all time on the Cavs. Okay, one, I think Minnesota's kind of delusional on Cat, so I don't think they give him up for Darius Garland. Like, let's be honest about that. Like,
hey, no, let's be honest. You hope they wouldn't do that. You personally do not want to see them do that. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Of course.
Hey,
let me get into my second part. You can't bring that motherfucker here. Like, he died. He would melt alive under the pressure that is playing in Cleveland. He barely handled that shit in Minnesota. Don't nobody even care about basketball in Minnesota.
That's not true. That crowd was hyped. That crowd was hyped in Game 6.
That was hype. That was hype. You know what I mean? But I bet if you survey that crowd, and you like, hey man, who your favorite basketball players? KG? Maya Moore? Anthony Edwards? No Cat. Okay? Absolutely no Cat.
Don't do that.
He ain't even a fan favorite in his own city.
You're such a hater.
He ain't even a fan favorite in his own city.
Why are you such a hater, bro? Why you hate him so much?
When have you ever heard Minnesota go, let's go Cat? I heard them chant MVP and Anthony Edwards.
You such a hater.
Well, I'm just asking the question, dog. Like, you know what I mean? What does it felt like the city of Minnesota had Cat's back? Like, I've been getting these jokes off with no press. Okay? No press, dog. Like, yeah, they not even trying to come up and cover me on this. They just like, yeah, we get it. Cat's kind of funny. Like, they don't even come at me about it. I can't even get these jokes off about Kirk Cousins without some dork getting mad at me about that. He ain't even got Kirk Cousins loves in the street. It's more people out here that stand for Kirk Cousins than Cat. Okay?
I just want to point out, if Cat ended up on the Cavs, the podcast we do immediately afterward is probably going to be the most.
Because y'all just love my pain. Y'all just love my misery. That's what it is. I realized over this week that some of y'all just hate me. Like, you know, and y'all don't say it. Y'all don't say it. Shout out to Mark, all right, who suggested that trade. And it was like, everybody wins. Am I not part of everybody? Do I not count?
I'm not going to lie. Cat is the type of big who would fit best with everyone. Like objectively.
What
objectively.
You mean? Who gonna rebound, Cole? Who gonna rebound the ball?
He get boards. And so does Evan.
Who gonna rebound the ball when somebody's there? Let me rephrase the question. Who gonna rebound the ball?
Him and Evan. They'll be fine.
Him and Evan?
They're going to be fine. They'll be fine.
Max Strus going to be leading the team in rebounds. Like, nah, man.
Evan averaged 9.5 boards this year. What are you talking about?
You know why
dog?
he can average rebound? Well, Evan and Cat can average rebounds because Jared Allen and Rudy out there doing the dirty work.
Hey, be fair. When he was playing the five in the playoffs, when he was playing the five in the playoffs, Evan was cleaning up the glass.
He was hooping. I mean, like, he was cleaning up the glass, but like, I hate to point this out because I'm a big Evan Mobley guy. Go look at them rebounds. How many of them was his chest pointed towards the baseline?
You get real specific with the boards now.
I'm just saying, how many of those rebounds did he get while he was boxing out?
Quite a few, actually.
No, he did not, bro. Like, with somebody there? No.
Hey, bro. You hate Cat so much, you started to slander Evan. That's crazy.
I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. No, I absolutely don't. Like, what? What? Okay, sell me on Cat playing for the Cavs, Cole. I'm going to be unbiased here. Sell me on this idea.
Oh, I ain't trying to sell you on that. If they get
sell me on this idea.
No, they get anybody from Minnesota.
No. You can sell me Nas Reed and Jada McDaniels. That's easy. No, sell me Cat right now. Sell me Cat. Since you think I'm such a hater. Sell me Karl Anthony Towns on this roster. Yeah, make me excited.
Wait, how much money does Cat make? Let me look that up.
So we can have another dude who shoots threes and miss them most of the time. Like, no.
Okay. Come on, man. Come on, man. He don't miss them most of the time.
Okay, he miss them when it matters.
Hold on, let me see. Cat contract. Let me see.
He make 36. Yeah. He make about the same as Darius, right?
No.
He make 46.
He makes 55.
All right. Yeah, you're drunk.
Yeah.
No,
we're okay. We're okay.
No. That don't even make the team better.
55.
Yeah, we go beat the Knicks because we got Cat.
55 million. That's a lot of money, man. Hey, salute to Cat. Get your money, man. Get your money, bro.
Hey, man. Cat Prescott.
Oh, come on. If they beat the Nuggets, we're gonna come back to that one.
Okay, yeah, they can beat the Nuggets. But I know who's gonna show up in games. I ain't even gotta watch the game. I'm gonna put this shit right here, my chest on it fully. And you know, if I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. But I promise you, Cat ain't gonna be what carries them out of game 7. It's a better chance of Nas Reed doing that. It's a better chance of Jada McDaniels doing that. It's a way better chance of Anthony Edwards doing it. Hell, Kyle Anderson might have one of them random ass game 7 games we be talking about where he just makes a bunch of 3. But it ain't gonna be Cat. Maybe even Rudy has like a game where he just boxing out and just gets his hit lick back on Jokic. But Cat about to walk out there with the most invisible 12 points in 12 boards you've seen in your life.
Hey, the funniest outcome for all of this is a game 7 Karl Anthony Towns 40 piece. That is the most hilarious outcome.
If he scores 40, he will be a significant part of the reason they lost. Just like he was when he scored 60 that one time this season.
You was gonna bring that up. I knew you was gonna bring it up.
This is an unserious man.
This
is an unserious man.
If he scored more than 30 and they win game 7, best believe that's the first thing we gonna talk about.
You gonna put you know what? I'll take it. I'll take the licks because I know it ain't gonna be that long before he disappoints y'all again. All right? Like, you know what? I'm team anti-Cat and I'm standing 10 toes down on it and I'm dug in. All right? I'm dug in.
Hey man, a Karl Anthony Towns championship would just be the fun ops. And I'll never see you more depressed than that. Oh man,
let the
depressed man in the world.
They let the suckers win.
Hey man, let's get back to these super chats. So you stop hating on Cat.
I'm gonna drop a bar on Anthony Edwards like Kendrick did in that third verse.
Come on, man.
So you could hit the corner like Nas Reed made you get your legal
Oh, come on now.
Act like he ain't riding. Act like he man, come on, man. No cat on the Cavs. I'm good. I don't need to hear y'all. Y'all love to complain about people being soft. Y'all want Cat?
They really want Nas Reed. That's what they really want.
I could not believe it when I saw people in this city throw trade machines together and it included Karl Anthony Towns. Because I'm like, all the shit you guys complain about this team not being physical, not being tough, and you want to add the poster child of all of those things.
The memes will be hilarious, though. The memes would be hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
Who? To you? Because you ain't rooting for this. Like, this shit is my life. What you mean? That's not gonna be fun.
This shit is my life.
What you mean? I gotta sit here and talk about how I feel about this on a weekly basis. This is not gonna be fun.
Oh man. Hey. What did Akalon say?
Out here gonna have me try to talk about Cat Prescott. Like, come on, man. Akalon said, I said this on the last stream, but I don't think you read it. So here it is again. One more for the road. Oh, see, y'all, you can't be putting that kind of shit on here. And the beef is done. They not about to let us get these like jokes off like, no more.
Oh yeah, I just read that. I just read that.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah, yeah. Look, man, not like us exist. Like the best jokes that exist on that topic have been said and put on record and put on a 5 beat in number one in streaming and everything else. Like can't go
A,
nowhere without hearing it.
a million records sold already. Kind of crazy.
100 million records sold. There's 100 million streams on Spotify alone.
Jeez.
Yeah,
This Akalon, this Akalon one we can read. We can read this. Even if
even if
Spider
Spider. Go
keeps
ahead.
up this level of play, can he be the best on a championship team? And how much can we count on him repeating this stretch of games? Best player on the championship. I mean, small guards just usually aren't the best player on the championship team, just historically. Like it's just most of the time that's not how it works out.
I have answered this. He could be Jamal Murray on the championship team,
I agree.
but you definitely need a Jokic, right? Like
Mhm.
he could be your number one. Well, it's not even like he could be your number one dribble penetrator from the perimeter, and he's an excellent one of those. I think he's a better version of Jamal Murray, right? So you don't necessarily need Jokic down there. Like if you had Donovan Mitchell paired up with the healthy Anthony Davis, and you had some good role players around that, I could see that winning the championship.
My issue with this is, and we'll get into this in a second because we got to talk about these. We got to talk about these trades and well, these trades that people are alluding to in a little bit. But I think the biggest thing to know about Donovan Mitchell is that he's not a point guard. Like he is very much a scorer of the basketball. I think he's a better pass. He when he was running the show and it was just him and Jared Allen, I thought he got other players involved more than he probably ever has in his career. He was legitimately playing the best basketball of his career during that stretch when it was just him and Jared Allen and everybody else was hurt. But he's not a point guard. If they trade Darius Garland, they're going to have to bring another point guard in here.
Hmm.
So that's
Who
the
do you
only
think that
thing that
should
kind
be?
of worries.
'Cause I think you want to go see all of the point guards that I could think of are either unattainable or carry a very large stigma on them.
What you mean large stigma? What do you mean large stigma?
Like, hear me out. Hear me
Okay.
out, y'all. Hear me out.
Okay.
I don't think this is not going to happen. So don't take it too seriously. I don't think Ben Simmons makes no sense.
I knew you were gonna say Ben Simmons.
You know, if you could go in the time machine and grab Lonzo Ball from 2 years ago, that's kind of what you need. Like,
That he actually would be exactly what they needed.
yeah,
Exactly what they needed.
a 6'6" guard who's a point guard, pass first,
Pass first.
and he can shoot sometimes,
He
and a
actually
good
was
defender.
he was actually a consistent shooter the last couple of years before he got hurt.
Yeah,
To be honest with you,
like that's
he
kind
would
of what you.
he would be the literal quite literally the perfect player for this team.
Yeah, I think Ben Simmons is there's an issue because he can't shoot, right? But Lonzo would make all the sense in the world, right?
Lonzo would make 1,000,000,000% sense.
Yeah,
But they
but
but
we don't
who
know if
else
he ever
is
playing again.
who else is even I don't even know who else is in that vein because you would want like a bigger point guard who can play defense
Like Josh
and
Hart.
get he's not a point guard though. Josh Hart's kind of whatever you need him to be. Whatever you need Josh Hart to be, Josh, that's what Josh Hart is. But I don't know if there's a bigger point guard who plays good defense and wants to get guys involved more than he wants to score, but also has the ability to spread the floor and shoot that they can just get. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like you would probably have to take a chance on like a younger player and hoping that you could like mold him into that. But even that's kind of risky as far as Donovan's concerned because he's trying to win right now.
All right, Cole, I'm going to have you state your argument for the Brandon Ingram trade. I'm going to give you the full screen to do it. So in about 5 seconds, Cole.
Yo, you just disappeared on me.
I got to do something real quick.
Go ahead.
Why you snitching on the game, Cole?
I was like, because you disappeared on me. What's going on? All right. It's just me. Dang, that's crazy. Let's just see me. Here's my thing. Let me start off by saying this. The Cleveland Cavaliers have two players that I think their value is significantly higher in the league than it is on the internet. Because when you see these fake trades about like for Darius Garland and Jared Allen, it's literally just like the most nonsensical, ridiculous trades.
The most here-take-it trades you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, like it's almost like here, damn, take them. Like, no, like they're not doing that. They're not. And let's get into this because I feel like people are just being stupid when they get on the trade machine and they like do these fake trades for Darius Garland and Jared Allen. Jared Allen has been an all-star. Darius Garland has been an all-star when it's just him running the show.
Should have been a multiple-time all-star.
Yeah, because he should have made it last year too, but they subbed him and everything. But whatever. And the second thing is, they're both under contract for multiple seasons. Darius is under contract like extremely long term because he just signed an extension.
Yeah, and you have control too, right? So like,
control.
You get his bird rights, right?
Yeah, and everything. And then Jared Allen's under contract for 2 more years, bro. They don't
he's
have
like
to.
Cheap.
He makes $20 million a year, and he's an all-star. And he just had, honestly, in my opinion, he just had his best season.
Yeah,
he just had his best season. You're not getting them. They're not giving them away. They have absolutely no reason to trade either of them. Like none. So like I seen somebody do a trade for Darius. It was like Tyus Jones and like Denny Avdija and a first-round pick from Washington. And he was like, "Yeah, I do that." I'm like, "What the fuck? No." Like, what? What? The Cavs wouldn't even answer the phone for that. What are you talking about?
Which brings me to my second point. We need to fire GM. Because trading Darius Garland, if you have to do it, which it looks like that might be the case, right?
We'll find out.
We'll find out what happens. I mean, shit can get worked out. But trading Darius Garland and whoever else you're going to trade, that's going to shape this roster for a while. And I've seen Kobe's work. I don't want him shaping any more of this roster. Like I've seen it. We're gonna trade for another George Niang. Like,
let's be fair.
Karis LeVert, George Niang, Max Strus. Those are like the 3 big rotational moves that he's had. Karis LeVert feels like a worse trade every year that goes by. Every offseason, we be like, we could bring in this guy, but damn, we traded for Karis LeVert.
We also, hey, listen, you listed 3 players, but I'm gonna list somebody else. And he's extension eligible, and they got a decision to make here. Isaac Okoro. Look, bro. I said this on Twitter, and I'm gonna say it on here. People always get on Evan Mobley, saying he hasn't developed, saying he hasn't gotten any better since his rookie year. And they say all this stuff about Mobley. Isaac Okoro is right there, and he don't catch none of that. None of that criticism.
Isaac's gotten better.
I guess
he shoots the ball more consistently.
He made
a leap from year 2 to 3 defensively.
He was like one of like 24 in the last 3 games against the Celtics.
Look, we're not going to talk about the playoffs. Like we not going to talk about that. But during the season, he was shooting like 40%.
When they needed him to show up, he did absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Look, man.
Nothing.
I'm just saying that he is improved in the regular season. All season, the postseason is something else, you know.
Marcus Morris. They signed Marcus Morris off the street, and he
you don't
was
gotta
better
do
than
this to
Isaiah.
him, Cole.
They signed him off the street, and he was better. He was better than George Niang. He was better than Dean Wade. He was better than Isaac Okoro. And most of the time, he was better than Max Strus. And he was better than Karras. Come on, bro. Come on. What are we talking about?
Does that not scream to you that we have a shitty GM?
He's had some hits, man. I don't want to do that.
What are his hits? He drafted Evan Mobley. Fell into his lap. Evan Mobley. Darius Garland. Yes, you drafted Darius Garland. That is a good player. But also, drafting Darius Garland has gotten you into the predicament that you're in today, where you just keep having these small backcourts. Because the original plan was to do Dame and CJ with him and Colin Sexton. Also, who I'm still seeing tweets about. Y'all are sick. Okay? Like,
I don't know why we still talking about Colin Sexton. That's over with. They made the right decision.
If it's not a joke, whoever keeps posting these Colin Sexton I miss you tweets, get some help, brother. Like, that is nasty. Like, hey, that's like posting Deion Waiters comeback memes. Like, what are you doing? Like,
can I pose a question?
Yeah.
Since Kobe drafted Evan Mobley, despite his representation telling him that he shouldn't draft Evan Mobley, are we able to criticize him for drafting Colin Sexton over SGA when they told him not to draft him?
Mm-hmm.
Are we allowed to criticize him for that?
Also, can I bring up the fact? Can I bring up the fact that this is the third prospect who we know on wax had their representation tell him don't come to Cleveland while Kobe Altman was here? Because you know who the third guy was? Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, it's on the JJ Redick podcast. Fun fact. Go look it up if you don't believe me. Yeah, my representation told me I should have go to Cleveland.
Hey, man, it kind of sounds like, you know what I'm saying?
Sounds like people in the know get a whiff of that and say it stink.
I don't know, man. And it's not like the Cavs haven't been winning games. They've been winning games the last 3 years. It kind of feels like, you know. And I think you have to give him credit for building teams that, you know, won games. I think he has to get credit for that.
Did he hire John Beilein? Was that him?
No, I think that was a Dan thing.
That was a Dan Gilbert thing? Was he the GM? Why that happened?
I think he was the GM, but I think that came from above him. So
was he the dude that extended Larry Nance talking about how he's going to be the future of the team?
I have no idea if that was him or not.
Somebody let me know. Because if that's the case, fire that motherfucker right now. Okay? Like,
but it's also like,
is he Kevin Love extension guy too?
I also think that was a Dan call.
How much can we blame on Dan? Like,
I'm only
a lot of it. I'm only
saying Dan call for things I truly believe are like, that was a Dan call.
I know, but he's just such a bad owner. Like, I get it, he spends money and the Guardians don't. People are mad, but let's be real here, man. The Browns are a well-run organization at this point. Like, a legitimately well-run. They don't have leaks. Like, the offseason is so boring right now for the Cleveland Browns because they're good at their job. Like,
hey, literally, there's nothing to talk about. Like, there's nothing to talk about with the Browns.
There's no controversy. Everybody get along and shit. Like, hey, I don't like Bale. Bring back Jadeveon Clowney. He give me something to talk about in May. Okay? Like,
you over here scrambling, trying to get Browns content out. I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, they're really good. Yeah, they're getting healthy at the right time. Like, You got people out here basically lying. Is Kevin gonna get extended? Yes, they already told you this is gonna happen. Why are we speculating? Why are we? Look, man, it's changing the business strategy of the city that the Browns are not dysfunctional anymore. It's wild to see. Yeah, and man, the Guardians, look, you might not like how the Guardians kick it, but the one thing about the Guardians is consistently put together pretty good baseball.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. The only criticism of the Guardians is the owner don't spend money.
Yeah,
like that's
you're
it.
mad. The only reason we're mad at the Guardians is because we legitimately believe, hey, if we just spent a little bit of money, you could be a World Series contender on a consistent basis. But you don't. Like, so you just end up being a pretty good team most of the time. But come on, man. We looking at the Cavs. Even when we got good fortune, we can't have good fortune. LeBron out here doing 101s because he don't trust us. Like, when have you ever felt like the Cavs were well run since Dan Gilbert has bought the team?
Never.
Not once. Not once. We get Browns level embarrassing stories about teams that made an Eastern Conference championship. Shout out to LeBron, like truly one of the greatest of all time, because
drag this franchise to success, man.
He took JJ Hicks into a place to where people said, "Nah, we good." On Amari Stoudemire. All right,
shout out, Brian.
Hey, look, man,
you did that. You did.
Boobie Gibson's entire career is a testament to the greatness of LeBron James. Like, there are a lot of point guards that just made a lot of money just strictly off Mo Williams. Like,
hey, shout out Mo.
And Mo got a ring. Mo came back around and got a ring out of this.
Mm-hmm. Brian made sure. Brian said, hey, man, come on.
Like, we ain't heard from Rodney Hood since he left Cleveland.
Hey, that's crazy. Why you do that? Why you do that? Why you do that to
bringing up examples. Have you watched a Rodney Hood basketball play since he's been moved?
No.
I don't even know what team he's on. Is he in the league?
I know.
Let me know.
I think he got hurt, and I don't know what happened after that. He maybe just retired. I don't know.
Exactly. It's a mystery.
I think he might have just retired, actually.
Yeah. Not Carlos Boozer. Drew Gooden. He's a legend in Cleveland.
He was on the Bucks for a little bit. He hung around a little bit
before he came to Cleveland. Yeah.
He was on the Bucks. He hung around for a little bit.
You know what I mean? Hey,
we get sidetracked, man. We get sidetracked.
We can talk about the biggest one.
What?
Because look, man, Z would not have been in the league until 2010 if Bron did not exist. I'm sorry. The last like 4 years of Z.
You talking about the Miami years too?
Oh yeah, by the time Miami, it was cooked. But yeah. I'm talking about everything past that first finals run. Like after that, it was a whole different Z.
Shout out Brian, man. He took care of the homie. I always gotta appreciate that.
Hey, he still come back, take care of Anderson Varejao. Real one.
Hey, but we gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this Brandon Ingram thing.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Two things. First and foremost, if they actually trade for Brandon Ingram, I'm 100% taking credit for that. 100% taking credit for that.
This is your agenda. Now, Cole, listen, I will warn you, if it goes bad,
I'll take the heat.
Get the blame.
I'm gonna take the heat. I'll take the heat for that. But let's be real. I've been tweeting about Brandon Ingram getting traded to the Cavs for like 2 years, bro. Yeah, 2 years.
You've been on your Andrew Berry about this one.
I was like, listen, if he end up in Cleveland, put me in the front office. That's all I'm saying. Because I've seen the vision. Nobody saw the vision but me. I seen it though.
I ain't gonna lie. If Kobe's the one that makes that trade, I have significantly less faith in it working out.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. If he's the one who makes that trade, I'm gonna be like,
we gotta get rid of these dudes named Kobe from the Cavs. Like no Kobes, no more Kobe's, no more Kobe's with the C.
That's crazy.
No more Kobe's with the K.
That's crazy.
We gotta just jettison them. You know what I mean?
Team ain't got no wings, and y'all
Trying
get
to
mad
trade for
for getting
Anthony,
wings.
trying to justify a cat trade to me. Like, nah, man, is this what's going on in Kobe world? Like, this
Okay,
what y'all talk about at the Kobe conventions?
neither one of us are trying to get Carl Anthony Towns in here. Let's just establish that now. Neither one of
I
us
don't
wants
know.
that to happen.
I don't know.
Nobody
It
wants that to happen.
feels like the direction things are going.
But I do want to talk about it because I think people kind of misunderstand where I'm coming from with it. So here's what I want to say. The Pelicans are actively trying to get rid of him. So let's establish that now. They are actively, aggressively trying to get him off the roster.
Ooh, give him Garris Levert.
So when you put it in that context, and let's just be honest about why. It's completely understandable why they want to do that. First and foremost, he misses a bunch of games every year. He good to miss a good 20 games every year. Second, he's expensive.
That's
I think
true.
he makes more money or around the same money that Darius Garland already makes.
Yeah, he makes about 36.
Yeah, something like that. He's in the last year of his contract, which means if you trade for him, you're probably gonna have to pay him again. You see what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. It depends on what you can trade for, right? With him. Am I gonna sacrifice any giant pieces for him? Probably not. Would I be willing to sacrifice some minor pieces to see if this works for a year? Yeah, it's worth it.
Here's the thing, though. Remember I said all those things about Brandon Ingram. If
Yeah.
you trade for him, you are doing the New Orleans Pelicans a favor because they're trying to get rid of him.
Yes.
The Pelicans want Jared Allen. They wanted Jared Allen last offseason.
That's nuts.
So here's my thing. If you trade Jared, like if there's a Pelicans Cavs trade that can be done,
Yeah.
centered around Brandon Ingram and Jared Allen. And let's list all these things out about Jared Allen. He's been an all-star. Just had his best season. He don't miss games for real. He's been pretty durable his entire career. And he's only making $20 million a year, which is a steal for that. And also, he's shown that he can be the anchor of a top 10 to a top 5-ish defense. What? Like, given the context of everything I just said, a Brandon Ingram for Jared Allen's like swap sounds like the Cavs are doing the Pelicans a huge favor and not getting anything back in return for real.
Yep.
I would not do that trade unless Herb Jones is in the trade. I tell him I'm not even considering it unless Herb Jones is in the trade. Because you don't trade for a player that a team is trying to get rid of without getting something and give them a player that they actually really want without getting something worthwhile back. And I'm not talking about Dyson Daniels or whoever the fuck Pelicans fans trying to throw in the trade to make it. Like, no. I need Herb Jones back. If Herb Jones ain't coming back, I ain't doing the deal. I'm not doing you a favor and helping you get rid of a player you want to get rid of, and I got to give up a player that I know is good and all-star caliber and cheap. And all I get back is Brandon Ingram? Hell no. Wouldn't even consider it. Wouldn't even think about it. Like, honestly, wouldn't even think about it. I really feel like people don't understand the value that the two Cavs players that's probably about to get traded have around the league. I really don't think people, I really, really think people that are much lower on them on the internet than teams actually are. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
like it don't really make it don't make sense.
Look at what happened in the draft. Like, Scoot is a score first point guard that you think can get like 18 to 22. That's the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Right now, Scoot's a little bit more athletic than Darius is, but I'm like, Darius is not that far off from that, right? From what people were willing to settle with Scoot being. So
he's 22 and 8 a night when he's the only point guard, when he's the only guard.
22 and 8, and if you got bigs, he gonna get a lot out of him, right? Like bigs that run.
Yeah, he'll get everything out of him. Everything you can get out of him, he'll get out of him. and he shoot 40% from three most of the time. Like what? Like what?
Yeah, I think people
try
are
to
just
give
so
Darius
wrapped up
away.
in their disappointment of this season. I'm like, I hope that's not how the front office views it, because that's stupid. Like, he's a young player, so the trade's always going to be about the up. If you can sell Rudy Gobert to the Minnesota Timberwolves on upside, and he was like 27 when that trade went down.
He's older than that.
30?
Around there, yeah.
When the trade went down.
Yeah, when the trade to the Timberwolves went down.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
He was 30. At least around it.
You can sell him on upside at 30. Like, bro, you can sell Darius Garland's upside. It's not that hard. If he can't sell Darius Garland, then he has no business being the general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'll make the argument that that's already there. But, like, Kobe's trades ain't been terrible.
Kobe's trades, like the Lauri Markkanen trade, that was a great trade. That was a great trade.
His just construction of the roster has been questionable.
Yeah, he had this belief that this 2 small guard and 2 non-shooting, like 7-footer thing could work. And in fairness to him, I guess they started winning games when he did that. I think it was like 44 wins, 51, and they won 48 this past season. And the starting lineup only played 28 games together in the entire year. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they didn't win.
They got some talented players. It's just the problem is you can win in the regular season off talented players. When you're in the postseason, these flaws that you have in the roster, I mean, it's inevitable that that's going to come up and get you. Let's get into some of these super chats before we get too carried away here, because we're already dipping close to what we said we wasn't going to do.
I told you, we have a set time. We want to like record. It's going to go over. Everybody know that.
People were acting like this Cavs wouldn't have made the playoffs with the second year of Garland and rookie Evan Mobley and Allen blossoming into an all-star if they didn't get injured at the end of the season. Oh, you're talking about before they traded for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, they won 44 games before they traded for Donovan Mitchell.
And they were on pace to win more than that before all the injuries happened, because Jared Allen got hurt. And that really derailed everything with what Evan was doing defensively.
Everybody got hurt, I think, because Garland got hurt, Karis LeVert got hurt, Evan got hurt, Jared Allen, like everybody got hurt.
Somebody said the Cavs should hire Bob Myers. I am so against that.
No, I wouldn't be against that.
You like Bob Myers?
Bob Myers is good. Bob Myers is great at his job. I wouldn't be against that at all. I don't think he would take that Cavs job, though.
I don't think he's great at his job anymore.
I think he is great at his job.
I think that's a dude. I think that's a dude who dipped out. Well, that's what I'm saying. He dipped out there before when he realized, oh, the mess I created, ooh, it's gonna stink. Like
he got out of there at the perfect time. But he built that roster. You know what I'm saying?
He built the original Warriors roster, right? Like, is that the whole crux of the argument here?
He built the Warriors to what they were. So he's great at his job. I'm gonna give him that.
I would argue there's more evidence to say he got lucky. Okay, you draft Steph Curry. He turns out to be the best shooter of all time. You also get Klay Thompson, who, turns out to be really good too.
The second greatest shooter of all time.
I don't feel like it's intentional though. I just feel like you're like, we'll take who's here, And then somehow, some way, Draymond Green becomes a useful player on your basketball team. That feel like pure. And then KD decided he wanted to go there, and then nobody think Steph Curry was going to be one of the greatest players of all time. Like, not even Bob. Bob didn't think that.
He got the
Bob
eye.
got some very lucky picks, dog. Like,
hey, no, man, because you can't do that. Because,
yes.
Clay was a late lottery pick. Like, Clay was a late lottery pick. So and Draymond was a second round pick.
It's like why I don't give the dude in Minnesota credit for taking Jokic. Ain't no way you thought that was what that was going to be. Ain't no way.
Denver?
No, well, he's in Minnesota now. The dude who drafted Jokic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He picked him. He saw it. He saw it.
Hey, so somebody picked him in a mock draft too on the internet. That doesn't mean that person is a ingenious, okay?
Hey,
like
they might
just means,
they might be a genius too.
Oh, let me just put out the perfect example. I thought in 2014 when I was in college, Aaron Donald should go #1 overall. I shouldn't be picking for the Cleveland Browns right now, though. Like,
Honestly,
I got lucky
at that time, maybe you should have been.
I'd have been the greatest GM of all time at the age of 19 in the city of Cleveland if they would have just let me turn in that one pick. Okay.
Hey, clearly would have been better. Clearly would have been better than Ray Farmer.
Hey, but anyways, that's a low bar to clear. I don't know. Like, you get a lot of credit for the Warriors, but the Warriors seem like something that just kind of happened. Like, I don't feel like you planned the Warriors out. That shit just happened. Like, oh, we get this late lottery pick. It turns into the second greatest shooter of all time. Oh, we spent a second round pick on this guy, this goofy dude from Michigan State. Turns out to be one of the best defensive bigs of all time. Like, how? This shit don't sound like luck to you, Cole? This shit sound like skill?
Hey, man, he picked the players. What can I say? I got to give him credit.
That shit sound like very good fortune. And I know it sound like good fortune because what did he do when he had top 5 picks with the Warriors recently? Okay, both them dudes are out there scrambling for their NBA lives right now.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because there is something with that. Did you not hear that story about why they took what's the center's name?
Which one, Kuminga or James Wiseman?
James Wiseman. Did you hear that story?
No, what's the story?
Okay, quick story time. So they weren't going to take James. Bob wanted to take LaMelo because he went the pick after to the Hornets.
Oh, are we getting the Steph Curry mafia?
No, it's not. It's not Steph Curry. Steve Kerr didn't want to deal with LeVar. He was like, no. So they took James. That wasn't Bob.
Here's why I will say it was Bob. Dog, that's all it took? You clearly didn't think strongly about this to begin with. If all it took was, yeah, his daddy's kind of annoying, to move you off of somebody you thought was good, stop it. Stop. The Cavs thought Evan Mobley was generational, and they took him despite the fact that his representation was like, don't you dare do such a thing. You telling me you can't veto Steve Kerr being like, well, his daddy don't rub me the right way. Nah, Steve, you better get out of here with that. You better coach.
Hey, man.
What are you talking about?
That's I'm
not giving him a pass. I'm not giving him a pass for that. That's absolutely no. We're not letting that slide. Absolutely.
Representation versus somebody in the organization who has also been a part of 4 different championships saying, I ain't doing that. It's 2 different things. It's different things.
Dog, do you not were you not a part of them 4 championships, Bob? Don't you know what you talking about? Why you just deferring to Kerr? What are you doing? What are you doing?
It is what it is. It is what it is.
He does not get to slide on that because it is obvious to me that he felt like they were about the same. Like if that's enough to sway you, there's no way you think one's in a different world than the other one. Like, nah, ain't you the dude who turned in the pick? Stand up straight, Bob. Don't lie to me. Okay.
Hey, man.
Come on.
Stand up straight.
Stand up straight. That's crazy. That's crazy. Steve didn't want to deal with his dad. No. Did we just let that ride?
I'm just saying.
We must like Bob in NBA Twitter circles because that's crazy to me. Hey, you know what? I'm the first Bob Myers hater. I think it's all luck. When he had them top 5 picks and you got to see if he could really scout, he ain't do none with them bitches. Like, no, he clearly been scamming, dog. Nah. What'd he get? Steph Curry on some late shit and then Klay Thompson on some late shit? Nah. We not out here trying to give the dude who drafted Jimmy Butler a job, right? Like, we know what it is at the late of the round, man. It's a lottery.
Hey, man.
They hit the lottery.
Huh? Kuminga's pretty good, though. I said Kuminga's pretty good.
Yeah, Kuminga's cool until you remember where he was drafted.
Was he a fifth pick?
I don't know. I thought he was the second pick in the draft, but
no,
I think that's why.
That's the FML
Okay,
draft.
and fifth pick of the draft for Kamika's not bad. I liked Kamika coming out, so I don't even know why I
Yeah, I
hate
did
on that
too.
pick.
I'm
I
about to
was
say,
a
I don't know
big
why you
fan.
hate that.
Honestly, I was like kind of upset we didn't take him. Like, glad that we did it. No,
Hey, it's crazy.
this is
It's
why I
crazy.
shouldn't be the GM. Like,
It's crazy how quickly you walked that back, dog.
yeah,
Oh, Kuminga was 7. He was 7? Who went 5th? I have to look. Oh no, Franz was 5th, I think. Franz was 5th. Because it was Cade, Jalen Green, Evan, Scotty,
mm.
Franz.
More
Who
evidence to
went
my point. More evidence to
who,
my point, by the way, Cole. Because yeah, of course he took Kaminga because Kaminga was the top player on the board when he got the pick at 7 because he was supposed to go 2. All right, easy pick, easy pick. Oh yeah. Denver's so brilliant for drafting Michael Porter. Like, oh yeah, all they did was take the number 2 ranked guy on the board at 15. Yeah, so brilliant. Who would have thought it? Nah. No credit for Bob, dog. When has he ever had to cook? The one time he did have to cook and he did it, he blaming it on Steve Kerr, not liking LaMelo Ball's daddy. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Tell you what's
What?
going down. Tell you what's
What?
going down.
No, absolutely not going. I'm not with that at all.
You said you the first Bob Myers hater. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be standing there fighting against his legacy. One day there'll be more of me. There'll be more of me. Okay.
You said you ready with revisionists. You ready with
Uh-huh.
oh, okay. Wait, here's the order. Here's the order. So Scotty went 4th. Jalen Suggs went 5th.
It's nuts.
Josh Giddey went 6th.
Well, hey
Kuminga
man,
was
remember when
7th.
you
Franz was 8th. Oh man. Ooh. 5 and 6. Suggs not bad. Josh, yeah, I don't want to talk about Josh Giddey, but
you owe Trevor Lawrence an apology, by the way.
why owe Trevor Lawrence an apology?
Because you compared him to Josh Giddey's when we was doing.
Oh yeah, my fault, Trev. I know in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
I remember being like, yo, that's crazy. Not for the reason that we all figured out, but just like I'm a Trev hater, but damn. Ray Rag says
fault.
Pat has 4 runs. He just runs into the Knicks, Jordan, and health problems before he got D Wade.
That's what we talk about. Pat Riley.
Oh yeah, Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Now I'm not going to denigrate his success as a general manager, but Bob Meyer, I'm all for it. Fuck him. You know what I mean? Overrated. Ray Rags, when you posted that Garland and Russell comp, Cove, I immediately replied. I guess I didn't look at the last 2 seasons before this one.
Yeah, I was like, you can't just erase those last 2 seasons of Darius's career because you don't like because he was bad this year. Like he still had 2 really, really good seasons before that.
Q, I've never had anybody reply as fast as you did when I tweeted you about the potential of a cat trade just to say no.
Hey, no, I saw that live too. Like you responded in like 50 seconds. Hey man, you hate that man way too much. You hate that man way too much, bro. I was like, man, he don't never respond this fast on Twitter.
I don't never respond that fast on anything.
He was like, no.
Talking about making me have to watch cat as part of my job. Like, good, I know. I'm not trying to do that. Not trying to do that. Yeah. And then, like, I had to give up my kitty cat jokes.
You can still use them when he play bad.
Nah, he don't feel right. Then I'm making fun of the fan base. You know what I mean? Like I'm making
fun
of
it's funny himself to the fan base if he was here. I feel like he wouldn't.
Yeah, but then I'll be appealing to the side of the fans to like to hate on the team that they root for. I don't like them people that much. You know what I mean? Like I like to kick it with the people who like the Cavs and want the Cavs to get better. And there's just no way for me to give any kind of good commentary on that without blinded by my rage of Karl Anthony Towns. Like he just offends me on so many different levels. Like I can't explain it.
Rage is insane.
I just be watching them, be like, man, somebody follow.
And remember when remember when Rudy got choked out? You said it should have been Cat. Like,
Why you keep bringing up my worst moments?
because that's the craziest thing I've ever seen you tweet. And
It was.
you made sure you didn't quote the video or anything when you said it too. I was like, oh,
I
sick.
wanted that joke to be out there for just the people who knew what it was. Okay.
I'm glad I should have quoted that, dog. I really should have quoted.
You did exactly what was necessary.
I was like, I'm gonna let that one rock. I'm gonna let that one go.
I be thinking about that too, because like, if I do well enough in my career, it could be possible that I do have to cross paths with this man. And I'm like, will I be able to contain myself? Like,
Man, you need to be worried about him. He like 7 feet.
look, man, here's the thing. I'm a Taurus. So like I get to the point of petty where I'm like, it's worth dying to say my opinion. like,
Bro, if I ever
nah,
see you get
I'm getting it off.
choked out by a cat, man.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's worth the risk. It's worth it.
Oh no, we're gonna do an emergency pod immediately afterwards. It's literally just gonna be me laughing for like
It's gonna be you and my lawyer laughing. Ain't gonna be no more podcasts if that ever happened. What you mean? I'm gonna cash out and be a family man. Like, I'll be the biggest cat fan in the world after that, because like, well, I get like a percentage of his contract. Like, I'm like, yeah, you better score. I'll be right there, second row. Like, yeah, cat.
absolute sicko.
I'll be in the baby mama section.
All right. Soul Train said an ideal pairing with Mobley is Bam Adebayo, in my opinion. One of them got to be. Well, I mean, Bam can kind of shoot a little bit. He don't take enough threes for me to think it would actually work, though.
Hey, man, you know who I feel the worst for the last couple of years? The rise of Jokic has really done a number on Giannis. Like,
why you say that?
It was seeming like it was going to be Giannis's league after he won that ring in 2021.
I feel what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
he's still really good.
But just don't nobody care no more. Like,
he had his moment.
He put up 40. He put up 40. Like, we not even arguing whether Giannis is a fraud because he only has one ring. That's how little we care about Giannis now. Like, we not even doing that. He not even getting the first take debates, dog. We just let him live in peace. Like, that's nuts.
Hey, man. It's Jokic
They
time.
got eliminated in the first round this year. Hey, look, he wasn't there. But he played one game, I think, right?
No.
He didn't play one game? He didn't play any? I thought he got minutes in one of them. But, you know, they got eliminated in the first round. And look, even if you don't play, that's something that people kind of give you flack for. Not showing up in that kind of a game or not being healthy for some unreasonable reason. We ain't even being unreasonable about Giannis. We out here being reasonable about him. We don't, that just tells me that the conversation about him is just dulled significantly because we like, ooh, look at Jokic. Like,
Jokic's legacy game. Game coming up.
Remember when Bam was one of the most important players in the NBA because he was seen as the Giannis blocker? Like, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like we just stopped caring about Giannis. We stopped caring about Bam. Like what? And then Bam got pieced up by Jokic in the finals?
Oof.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Bam. Because he been on the wrong end of AD getting a ring, Jokic getting a ring, and then Giannis getting through him to get a ring.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough.
He been on the wrong end of all of that. Like
those superpowers been neutralized.
Oh man, that's hey. Ray Rag said Kobe's first major move as the why'd you remind me of this? Kobe's first major move as the GM was the Kyrie trade.
To be fair to Kobe, that was not his fault that situation came up. He inherited that situation, right? Yeah. That was why we feel like Chris Grant is overrated. Was it? No, I don't think it was Chris Grant. My bad. Chris Grant was the one who didn't want to draft Anthony Bennett. What's his name? Adam. What?
Ooh, ooh. Shout out Mac again, because he just sent me something that's crazy. Per Jake L. Fisher, who absolutely knows what he's talking about when it comes to the NBA. Some teams have indicated they would prefer pursuing Darius Garland over Trae Young. If Garland hits the trade market, dependent upon Donovan Mitchell's decision, the Cavaliers could return serious value. Let me talk about
Yeah. That market
let,
is robust.
let me rant. Let me rant for just a quick second. Just a quick second. I know we ain't trying to be on here all day, but let me just rant
At
for a
this
quick
point, brother, we might as well do the whole thing.
second. Let me just rant for a quick second. Quick second. These motherfuckers who thought
Oh
that the
wow.
Cavs was just give this dude away for absolutely nothing are so stupid to me. Like I don't understand why you think a point guard who's not even 25 years old yet has had multiple seasons where he averaged over 20 points a game and had over 7 assists and shot over 40% or close to or over 40% from three, wasn't going to net a serious return when he's already under contract for multiple seasons. I'm talking like 5 years. You see what I'm saying? And his contract is going to age well as the salary cap continues to go up. You see, you know what I mean? Like these people that thought they were just going to give him away for absolutely nothing just to get him off the team are stupid. They're going to get back whatever they want for Darius Garland because they have no incentive to trade him for nothing. If you want him, you literally have to give them something they actually want to get him. And the fact that they would rather have him as opposed to Trae Young, kind of crazy to me.
Well,
Kind of crazy.
here's why they would rather have him than Trae Young, because
Nobody likes Trae Young. Nobody likes
yes,
Trae Young.
that's the biggest part of it. People like Darius. Don't nobody like Trae.
Like Trae Young.
Don't nobody think Trae going to accept a different role. I was talking to my friend Ace. He's a Laker fan. He was like, "We might get Trae Young." I'm like, "I don't think you want that."
Hey, as another Laker fan, Trae Young fixes absolutely nothing for this basketball team. Nothing. Nothing.
I'm like, you gonna be sitting here mad at the same shit you was mad about last year, like, because
except now it's a dude we don't like. Like it's a dude nobody likes. You know what I'm saying?
And now it's a dude don't nobody want to kick it with too. Like I couldn't imagine him and LeBron on the same roster, but also like Darius Garland is not a great defender.
He better than Trae Young.
But Trae Young is what y'all think Darius Garland is defensively.
Trae Young is the worst. Trae Young is the worst defender in the perimeter defender in the NBA.
Yeah,
the worst. He don't even try.
Yeah, Darius tries. Darius puts up effort. Darius also passes the ball, like with intention.
Trae passes.
Trae passes the ball like that one time Kobe was trying to get 20 assists. Like very much like I'm trying to get assists. You better shoot that. Like
Trae does not play off the ball at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
If the ball not in his hands, you ain't
usage rate is crazy.
You ain't getting much out of Trae. Yeah. I think Darius Garland fits on a team better. You know what I'm saying? He fits on the team better than Trae does.
Did we get everything off that we need to about the Cavs? Did we talk about how we're at the point where we're just assuming JB is going to be fired?
Oh no, he getting fired.
Yeah. So I don't think there's much discussion in that. We talked about what they need. We got all summer to talk about what kind of wings they need to bring in. We know you're going to talk about wings. We know they need the wing special. Like we going to talk about it.
They need a 2-for-1
sauce on everything, wings. You know.
Trying to think that Darius Garland report is actually like really interesting.
Yeah,
really interesting. I mean, I tweeted yesterday, if they trade him, they go get significant. Like they would get significant back in a Darius Garland trade.
Mm-hmm.
Teams need point guards. I would check the Spurs. The Spurs gonna be one team that's on that for sure.
Oh,
and honestly, the team they just beat in the playoffs.
Oh, the Magic.
Absolutely gonna be calling.
Yeah, and what determines trade value is how many people want that dude. And if there's a lot of people who want him, you're gonna get good trade value. Now, Cole, I did get to watch the first 2 games of Caitlin Clark. And did you get to watch any of this?
I saw the first game.
Now, the first game, to be fair, from what I hear from my people who do this with the WNBA, that lady that was guarding her is one of the best perimeter defenders, if not the best perimeter defender in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, somebody pointed this out to me. They're like, hey, there's 100 people in the WNBA. Like, all of them were at some point all conference, and then like 40% of them were first team All American at some point. So, like, that might be one of the hardest leagues to crack. Like, it's there's not enough teams. It's a very tough league. All of that is true, right? And then was it Alyssa Smith? Or somebody was hooping. Like, it was nasty. DeWanna Bonner was just making every shot. I was like, oh, this is not college no more. And
second game was they played New York, right?
They played the New York Liberty, and boy, that was worse. Oh, my goodness.
Stewie was cooking.
Now, we talked about this on this pod.
Cooking.
We talked about it on this pod. We knew who wasn't going to let that shit go. Okay? Like she was still able to get like 20 off against the Connecticut Sun. You know, they wasn't that pressed about it. But the New York Liberty, have you seen that front court? Like, no, they wasn't letting anything fly for poor Caitlin and Allen.
I seen her like walking off the court after they lost. She was the
when your
body
idols
language
become your rivals. That's what it was.
Was bad. The body language was bad. I ain't gonna cap. It was like, oh.
Hey, this shit got real, right? You know, it's a whirlwind. People, and I'm pretty sure, like, on some level, you buy into what people are saying, because people were talking crazy about the WNBA before this. Like she was gonna walk in and average 30, and anybody who said anything else was hating on her and all of this. And I'm like, hey, dog, have y'all seen some of these women out here? Like, they can hoop. Like,
listen, bro.
Aja Wilson, hey, she made sure they were on I think they played opening day. She was a 10 o'clock game, and Aja put up fucking 30 in the first half. Okay? Like, no threes, dog. Like a old school dominant. I think Aja's put up 40 with no threes before.
Dominant.
8-minute quarters.
Dominant.
Yeah, I was watching the Aces, and I was like, hey, man, like, the Liberty are, like, cool. But remember when Colorado got their ass beat by Oregon? And then everybody was like, here's the thing, dog. Oregon ain't even like that.
No, the Pat McAfee tweets be killing me, bro. He was like, man, the New York Liberty, look at this lineup. I just feel like they're the best team ever assembled. Everybody was like, oh, you knew here.
Oh, wait till you see the Aces. Okay. I watched one game with them, and I was like, that is clearly the best team in the league. Oh, my God. It was like nonstop. I'm like, okay, Kelsey Plum, she's really good. I already knew Aja Wilson was good. And then you find out, like, oh, Chelsea Gray, she's been a finals MVP. She ain't even playing in this game. And then, oh, who is this Jack? Like, she fast as hell. Like, what?
She fast as hell.
I was like, is that James Harden? Like...
All right.
Like, she came up the court so fast. I'm like, dog, they just be using her for defense and it's secondary scoring. Then you look up, that's like the number 3 overall pick from a couple of years ago. Hey, dog. Hey, dog. I was talking to Kai about this, and I was like, she just need to get to that. She just need to get to that Olympic break, man. Because also, I think I'm going to try to go see her when she's in Atlanta. But we have a player on the Dream called Ryan Howard. I don't know if you're familiar with her work, but they call her Kyrie Irving.
Oh, I think I see the highlight. I see the highlight. I was like, she broke somebody's ankles. She broke somebody's ankles. Yeah, I seen her. I
was like, oh, like Rebecca Lobo was like, here's the thing, man. In college, no traps come. They 6 foot. In the WNBA, it'd be like 6'5". Like, I was like, woo, that is a trend. And it's rough too, because she don't even get like a whole camp, a whole summer to get used to this, maybe get some strength built up. She coming straight from college into this. And this is just so brutal, what they be doing to them rookies. I'm like, damn. Damn, this is insane.
Hey, there is one. You know what? The Caitlin Clark thing, when you said this shit about to get real, that did remind me of one Cavs thing that we did not talk about. And it's probably the most important thing, the most important part of this that we need to talk about. We didn't talk about it yet.
What's up?
Evan Mobley, this shit about to get real, brother.
Hey, bro, you gotta get big, dog.
Evan
Like,
Mobley, you are the starting center of the Cleveland Cavaliers going forward. This shit about to get
and
real.
and we gonna need about 22 from you. All right.
Oh, 20. We need 20 and 10 minimum.
20 and we expecting 22 and 12. we'll take
What was
we'll take some shaky efficiency, at the beginning of the season. Like,
this shit about to get real? You have to
oh,
play the five now.
and we no longer taking your threes as like an ironic thing that you do. Like, nah, man, you got to start making one of them bitches a game.
No,
Like,
hold on. I will say this. I will say this. If he's playing the five full time,
he don't gotta make threes, yeah.
whether or not like the shooting becomes like an afterthought, because that's not what they're gonna need him to do if he's playing the five full time. What he needs to do this offseason, brother, you need to gain at least 10, 15 pounds of muscle.
Oh yeah, come kick it with me, Evan.
It's gonna get physical.
Come kick it with me. I'll get that weight up, brother. Like,
he needs good weight.
good protein. What are you talking about? I'll eat red meat. I'll eat pork. It's gonna be nothing but that good old bird. Okay. Like, we gonna get turkey. They got all kind of vegan options down here. What you mean? Like, what you mean?
Look, man, he looks so much better playing the five in the playoffs. And I understand why the Cavs are like, okay, it's time for us to make this move. It's time for us to make the transition to him playing the five full time. But there are some issues
And
with
the
that.
playoff numbers are pretty good in that series versus Boston. We need to talk about that. But
Even when he played the five, outside of that game 6 against Orlando where he sprained his ankle and he got hurt, the numbers were good against Orlando, and the Orlando Magic are a very physical basketball team, like just throughout the entirety of the roster. So I think there's some things to be really optimistic about as far as him playing center full time. My concerns with that are this. Well, I have two concerns. Obviously, his weight and his strength. You have to get stronger. You have to get bigger. There's
yeah,
no way around it. There's no way around it.
We need to have him training with Myles Garrett during the season or something like that.
But dead ass, like you need to gain like 10 to 15 pounds.
Well, don't Myles own part of the Cavs now?
Yeah, he can make it happen. Myles can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? He can make it happen if he wants to.
You imagine Myles' face with Evan Mobley, because he log his shit. So like Evan Mobley gonna be on that bench press with like 135 on it. Like
and then Myles get up and he gonna put like 4 plates on each side. Like, all right,
yeah. Myles thinking, oh, we could just switch off, and he like, let me just get a new bench. Like
too much work. It's too much work going on.
Imagine Myles Garrett trying to spot somebody at 180. Like he gonna feel like a weight. He gonna be like, come on, man.
Like he just shrugging it. Like, all right.
Yeah. He's like, all right. Yeah, Evan Mobley starts to like die on it, and then Myles just goes, all right, man. Like, you good? Get up.
But like that's the offseason plan, because if he was gonna play the 4, you're worried about like the ball handling. You're worried about the shooting. You're worried about all these other things. If he's playing the 5 full time, man, I'm worried about you setting screens. I'm worried about you rolling.
Hey,
finishing at the rim. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried about that.
You speaking about some elements of this that we don't ever talk about, right? With him at the 5.
Because
you also got to hold up physically at the 5, and that's a lot of ball screens. That's a lot of banging. And like, I don't think he's afraid to do it. I just think we got to make sure he can have the strength to hold his own there.
He's undersized, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he's just not. He don't have the level of strength, at least at this point, to be able to do those like the little nuances of actually playing center full time. Like he's gonna have to get strength so he can do those things. He's gonna have to get more active on the boards. And The thing that I'm the most worried about, you gonna have to guard Jokic. You gonna have to guard Embiid. You gonna have to guard Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna have to guard Anthony Davis when he come to
I
town.
have to get crafty.
Or you go over there. You gonna have to guard these, you gonna have to guard the best bigs in the league. And at the current weight he's at, bro, he not gonna be able to hold up. Like when he has to play like Wendell Carter Jr. and like guys like that, like I'm not like he'll be able to do that. That's gonna be fine. When you gotta guard the best bigs in the NBA and you 210 pounds and Jokic is what 300? AD like 255?
Mm-hmm.
Giannis like what 240? 245? And be like 300? Like you gonna have to gain some weight, brother. It is what you gonna have to get stronger. But here's the second thing that concerns me. And I don't know if people notice. I don't know if people looked at the numbers at all. And I'm gonna pull them up just to make sure I don't get them wrong. But there's some concerning things about Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley being the two guys you're gonna build around. So I just want to throw something out. I just want to throw something out really quick because I don't know if people know this. So, and we're looking at offensive rating, defensive rating, net rating stuff. Just some things I found that have been pretty interesting. Shout out Justin Rowe, Cavs editor on Twitter, for pointing this out to me because I feel like people not talking about this. When Garland and Evan Mobley are on the court together, and they were on the court together for 1,480 possessions. They have an offensive rating of 116.9.
Mm-hmm.
They have a defensive rating of 104.7. They have a net rating of 12.2. That's Darius Garland and Evan Mobley on the court together. Just those two. When Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley are on the court together, they were on the court together, just those two, 951 possessions. They have an offensive rating of 115. They have a defensive rating of 117.4. They have a net rating of negative 2.3. So that's about a 10-point net rating differential. 9.9. It's about 10. That's a little concerning. And that's who you're building around for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
It's something, I don't know if people are talking about. Mitchell was significantly better when it was him and Allen as the only two players on the court. And Mobley was significantly better when it was him and Garland as the only two players on the court. And I don't know what just happened on my screen. There we go. But yeah, but that is something that if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, you need to think about going forward.
Yes.
How you gonna build the roster? Like how's this gonna work out? And that's all I'm saying. It's just food for thought. I'm not saying it can't work. But they gonna have to bring a point guard in here for Evan if this is gonna work. That's all I'm saying. And we didn't talk about Evan and how he fits in all of this and all of that good stuff. But hey, man, I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure we cover everything because it's not all roses and everything might not work. Everything might not fit as seamlessly as we think it's going to going forward.
All I know is from Ray Rags. All I know about Ronnie Hood is that he taught Haley Williams of Paramore how to crip walk when they were neighbors as kids.
That is actually very true.
Ronnie Hood's that old?
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember Haley Williams being a part of my childhood. Ronnie Hood was on the Cavs in like 2014. Well, 2016.
No,
2018.
2018. Yeah. That's not that long ago. Not that long ago.
That's nuts. I always thought he looked like tall TK, which ages me because I don't even know the youngest know about TK.
They've heard the race.
Hey. That song still slaps, man.
That's a great song. I didn't go cap. That's a great song.
Hey, that beat goes.
And it was hard.
I ain't BJ, so I did the race. It's just nonsensical. The next bar after that. Like
Yeah, very nonsensical. Extremely nonsensical.
It's the best song I've heard from a 16-year-old, like in the last 7 years. Like, is it?
I'd have to see.
I don't
really
know.
think I
I
listen
don't
to
hear very much
16-year-olds.
music from 16-year-olds. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, how old was Lil Tecca when he made that one song?
We'll
I
see.
got Glocks, I got what you want.
I don't know. We'd have to see. We have to see.
That's also another one that slaps. And I like how he admitted that he just lied.
Love it. Smart man. Don't admit to that.
No, I don't do none of that. Like, I don't even drive. Like,
You go to
Ray
jail.
Rag says,
go to jail behind lyrics.
I think the most forgotten things about the Warriors dynasty is that Steph had really bad ankles early in his career and got less money than he should have, and that's how they had the money for KD and getting rid of anyone. See, man,
Yep.
Bob Myers, straight fraud. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just got lucky. Got lucky.
Here you go,
Yeah.
Hayden.
I'm not saying that Bob Myers is a bad GM. I'm just saying like 5 other GMs could have been put in Bob Myers' position and built the Warriors.
Professor Chaos says, which group of people is more out of touch? People that gas up the schedule makers or the QB cognitive test? Woo!
Hey, man, at least the people who gas up the schedule makers, I don't feel like there's an undertone of racism.
Yeah, definitely the cognitive test guys.
The cognitive test guys, that never not feels like racism, right? Like, have you ever like heard somebody talk about a cognitive test and then not been like, hey, what's this about?
Exclusively used as a negative black players.
Yeah. Like never once have I been like, oh man, yeah, they said Kirk Warner got a bad cognitive test. Like, it's all CJ Stroud, right? Like,
have you heard about the S2 test since that happened? Have you heard about it? Have you heard it mentioned?
That's all I'm saying is that, like, I've been around the block. I've been around for a while. I've never heard the cognitive test brought up in a context that also didn't follow a very pointed conversation about race as it relates to the quarterback position.
Hey, you know what's even crazier about that? Like, they really try to use that as like, oh, he's not going to be able to do the. Let's not even talk about CJ Stroud playing football. Have you heard that man talk about football? Have you heard him break down film and why he did certain things and why he made certain decisions? You really think that man is stupid? Just listen to him talk about the game of football. You could tell he's smart. Hope we never hear about that S2 test again.
Some people hear accent and they can't hear nothing else, you know? Like, just being real with you. It's people that think Lamar Jackson don't know how to read a defense. Or Cam Newton. It like, let's be honest about who gets hit with the cognitive test a lot. Quarterbacks in the South. You know what I mean? This don't have, look, CJ Stroud, he from LA. Still technically the South.
How's that the South?
It's in the southern part of the country. It's right next to Mexico.
Okay.
You know. Yeah, they did that shit bad to Jamarcus. And like, the bad thing about Jamarcus is that he justified a lot of bad takes. Like,
he was
that whole
the one
story
guy
about him getting that damn CD, that DVD that he didn't listen to.
Man, he's the one guy they got all that off on. Yeah.
He ended up being right, and that justified them doing it for everybody since. Okay.
And looking like idiots.
It's people to this day that act like Cam Newton don't know what he's talking about when it comes to football. I'm like, how do you have this opinion? Like,
MVP, like, went to a Super Bowl.
At the very least, he's qualified to share his opinion. And you got people like Drew McIntyre acting like he's not allowed to talk about it. I'm like, Drew, you like me, dog. Like, what you mean? Like, we both, what do you have no bearing over who gets to talk about this shit or not. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts. And
Oh man.
it was like people didn't even listen to him explain the take, which was like crazy to me. I'm like, he explained it perfectly well. But that's a whole different tangent, man.
So it's not a super chat, but Soul Train said Evan needs to do whatever Giannis did. Um
Giannis had a secret contract with God. Like, what you mean? Like,
that might bring us back to the LeBron conversation we
no,
had
stop
last
it.
time.
Stop.
Oh,
Ray Rag says, I think the most forgotten thing about, oh yeah, we already got that one.
I think we're good on super chat.
I think we're good. No, which group of, okay, we got that one. I think we're good. Yeah, man. I just saw that Pat McAfee tweet too, where he's like, man, has anybody ever beat this team? And I'm like, I think the Aces beat them, and they were missing 3 of their 4 starters. On the road. Okay. On the road in an elimination game. Oh man. And Kelsey Plum played a 1. Oh no. Oh, I hope they don't put that one on national TV. We all don't need to watch that one. Like,
hey man, I'm not gonna lie. WNBA be kind of lit, bro.
And they be physical too. Like, I was like, damn.
Hey, the WNBA way more physical than the NBA is right now.
It was like, it was almost a fight in the first 5 minutes of this. I'm like, you know what? I could do this. Like, I could do this.
Bring the feeling back.
Hey, look, that first game, they were not making bits about how much they was talking shit about winning this game. You had all the flexing, all the standing in the crowd. Who y'all here for now?
Oh man, I love people just being shocked at like how good the other WNBA players.
Cause like people really thought it was just gonna be sweet. Like that's the thing. Like I was hearing these people talking. It was like, oh yeah, she's gonna walk in and average. She might even be better in the WNBA than she is at Iowa. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're good.
I can't wait till they play the the Aces.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be a funny game. That's gonna be a funny game.
Agent Wilson mad about that Nike deal. She justified in that anger. Like,
that's gonna be funny. That's gonna be funny.
Yeah, I was watching that one. I was like, Breonna Stewart came in here like this was game 5. This is unfair, dog. Like, you remember how people used to come at Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's what's happening right now to her. Like, it is so unfair because she didn't do none of this, dog. She came in so respectful of the league.
Points being made. Points were simply being made.
But you sell 17,000 tickets, people gonna act like that's a playoff game, dog. Like,
I was like, oh, y'all want to watch us? Okay, watch us.
Like, okay, y'all watching this one? I'm gonna get my shoe deal tonight. Okay.
They teeing off.
Ooh. Ooh. Hey, man. Angel Wilson gonna get her on that switch, and then she gonna use all 6'5". Okay, did you see when Delissa Smith got switched on to her and she decided she was gonna play real defense on this girl up 20? Like, up 20
I gotta make a point.
From the 5. She was like, nah, I ain't letting this go.
I gotta make a point, dog. I gotta make a point. That's all it is.
Then Caitlin Clark missed the shot, and all you hear was this woman who was tied for number 3 in MVP. Well, tied for the MVP race, right? She almost won the MVP last year. Go, after she shut you down.
Oh man,
I love this level of petty. Like, this might be better than if Caitlin Clark was putting up 30 points. Like, just seeing the level of petty amongst the rest of the W, where they're like, nah, we're not about to let this happen. Like, you gonna earn this, big dog. And I think she will. She'll battle back. She'll play well. She just got to get through this adjustment period. But I think there's a lot of people really underestimating that adjustment period. Like, I want to know how many people in there found out about Breonna Stewart that night. Like, when they went to that game. Like, she has her wingspan is what? Like,
yeah. She like that.
She can't be that coordinated, and then you see her just go around, get an L1, lay that bitch in too, like, and then smacks a step back 3 on the next possession. Just filthy. Just filthy, dog. Filthy.
They was talking the way they talking about Caitlyn now. Remember how they was talking about Wemby?
Uh-huh.
His first couple
Yep.
games. Remember that?
Yeah. Look,
What happened by the end?
hey, that's what I'm saying. By the end of the season, I said this on Twitter. I was like, they're gonna have similar arcs, right? Like she realizes she can't push off. They too long in this league to just push off and shoot the three. She gonna figure out how to use her screens and get her shots, and she still got the clip, dog. So she gonna be able to shoot. She's a really good passer. She's a good dribble penetrator. She'll figure it out. But right now, until she does it, they are teeing off on her. How many people found out Jaquel Jones won an MVP? How many people found out that the New York Liberty got 2 MVPs and a second team all WNBA on that roster that day? Like, and they ain't even close to the best team in the league. They the number 2.
They was like, hey man, this team pretty good. What's going on?
Their best hope, because they play the Liberty again. I think they play them tomorrow or today or something like that. Like they play them, they go home and away for them, right? So now they're gonna go to New York and play the Liberty.
No, yes,
like hopefully by the end of this, people just feel bad and just stop doing what they doing to her. Because, hey man, I don't want to see what it looks like if the Las Vegas Aces decide we gonna go full strength on you. Like,
oh, I'm gonna be watching. I'm watching every second of that. Watching every second of that.
We gonna find out Angel Wilson can dunk. Like,
it's gonna be all bad. It's gonna be all bad.
Ooh. And then Kelsey Plum talk shit too. That's the thing. Oh, Cole. Diana Taurasi?
Oh, that's the game I want to watch. That's the game I want to watch.
Because you know, she's like 42 right now. People are like, oh, she's old. Not for that game.
Oh, smooth 40 piece.
She gonna break out the Kobe's. She gonna break out the Kobe's. Look, Kobe don't call anybody white mamba. Okay, like he went out his way to call that lady that. Like, you think she about to be friendly about this? Like, and then y'all was talking crazy about her after she said something just a little bit. Diana been waiting for this day. She might retire after the game. Like,
they was calling her a hater and everything.
She heard all that. She heard all of that. Yeah,
I'm the biggest hater.
I'm the biggest hater.
Hey, on that note, Professor K, I said Caitlin Clark is the Drake of the WNBA.
Hey, bro, just get through. Just get through. Just get through. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, homegirl. You gonna get through though.
Hey, man.
Especially since Diana Taurasi known for shooting the 3 too. Like, that's her thing. And you trying to take this from me?
Hey man,
Diana gonna be like, let me see you push a T.
Chad, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad nobody said anything about the stuff going on with that man that used to own
we don't need to talk about that. Yeah, we done with that.
I'm glad nobody talked about that.
That ain't even at the point where we can talk about this pod, because we like to keep it light on this pod, right? We like to have jokes. There is nothing funny about that. Okay.
Not one funny thing to say about that.
That's not even funny no more.
Mm-hmm. I'm proud of y'all, Chad. I'm proud of y'all.
But you know it is funny. Kelsey Plum decide this today she gonna get 40. Playing hard. Hey, did you see Sabrina Ionescu?
Hey,
Bomani Jones is hilarious. He was like, you know what that girl go hear? Caitlin Clark go hear a whole lot of this her first year. I feel, hey man, if she gets through this, she gonna be fine. But this is a rough gauntlet, man, because everybody's gunning for her. Everybody's gunning for her.
You know what I'm interested to see?
And that squad ain't even that good, man. They can't hold up to this barrage.
You know what I'm interested to see? I'm interested to see, would Juju get in there? What's the response to her gonna be like?
Look, because we done already been through the Caitlyn thing. Like, this is a once in a lifetime thing. Like, nobody's gonna be hyped up as much as this. And like, the thing that I think people would rub people the wrong way about this NW is that people kept on being like, she's making women's basketball matter. And there's a lot of women putting a lot of work and then, like, you know, making that league matter that felt like they were getting erased. And, you know, now that you're watching, we'll let you know who was really holding this league up for a little bit. Like, you know, this is a unique introduction that she's gonna get, because Juju, she just gonna get that like, Cam Brink ain't fighting for her life right now. Cam Brink had 22. like she got 8 on defense against the Atlanta Dream, but she had 22, you know? Yeah, they ain't doing that to Cam Brink. They not even doing that to Angel. Okay, like
they really making a point, bro. Like that.
Yeah, this about you. This ain't about Juju. This ain't gonna be about Paige. This is about how people was acting about it with you. And it ain't got to do nothing personal, so I think this go evade after a while once everybody get their licks in. But there's 12 teams in the W. Like,
it's just kind of, it's sad because, like, I feel like Caitlyn ain't really do nothing to, like, she didn't go out of her way for any of this. That's
she a Maya Moore stan. Like, she has ultimate respect for this whole thing. By the way, you ever see clips of Maya Moore? Oh my God. I was watching that like, this is like if Melo lived up to his potential. Like,
baller.
But yeah, I was like, damn. Yeah.
She catches all this based on stuff that, like, people like me and you been saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm like, that's not fair.
It's rough. It's rough. Like, she's not Johnny Manziel where she's getting all this because she's like, she not respecting the game. She clearly respects the game. And again, I think people will get that, but they gonna test it. They gonna test. And it's also like, it's kind of that, like, you got to fight for yourself type thing, because, like, okay, how did Angel pop off? She was like, you know what? I'm going at her, right? I'm going at her. They're going to know who I am. Every time we play, they're going to know who I am, right? And that's kind of what she's facing now. But instead of it being, you know, other girls in college, these are grown women who have been the best player. Hey, man, Breonna Stewart won 4 straight national championships in college. Like, and then went to the W and won 2. Okay, like, it's different. It's different. It's different, man. It's different. Like, these are grown women up there, and I'll just watch. I'm like, yeah, this is a professional league for sure. Like, this is the transition is. I'm watching this like the transition isn't even as crazy for Wemby. Like, Wemby's like, damn. Like, could you imagine the NBA had 12 teams?
Yeah, that would be rough.
Yeah.
That would be rough.
That would be tough. You're like, yeah, man. Like, every team got a Shai Gilgeous on there. Like, no, man. Like, Luka just on one of these teams randomly with like 3 other people that should be the best player on. It's, oof. And they had the first overall pick. Hey.
Cleveland needed a WNBA team. Bring back the Rockers.
Right there. Right there. Oh, by the way, Aaliyah Boston, you are catching so many strays right now because they play Caitlyn this hard, they coming at you too. And it's been rough.
It's like Kevin Hart. It's like Kevin Hart 40-year-old version. That's your boy.
Hey. That's your boy. It's your boy. I saw you on TV. You know, kissing and hugging on stages. Yeah.
You get fucked up with him.
Jonquel Jones came out of there like, I'm not letting you get anything. Like, this is nuts, man. They supposed to be the team that you kind of sleep on the schedule, but they get in these tough ass efforts from the best teams in the league. And I'm like, they not even ready for regular efforts yet, man, let alone a championship quality team's playoff effort.
Come on, man.
Hey, man, they better hope their first game against the Aces ain't in Las Vegas. Because, look, if there's one fan base that's never had an issue showing up, it's that team's fan base.
It's that team. Yep.
They not about to be out there like, yay, Caitlyn checked in. Nah, they about to boo you. Like, this gonna be rough. Like,
they are 100% they moved the needle with Vegas. Like, let's say something. They moved the needle with Vegas. Absolutely.
You got to be careful about what you say about their players on Twitter, because that hive will come and get you. Like,
I've seen it.
That hive is real, dog. Like, oh, hey. Shawty, just get to the Olympic Games. Once you get to the Olympic Games, you're going to be able to kick it with the vets. They're going to realize that you a good person, and they're going to let this go. Right.
Hey,
they got Pat McAfee. Like, Pat McAfee is not helping anybody when he tweets stuff like, hey, man, this might be the greatest team assembled. He's like, oh, so there's more to show. Now the Aces is like, now we got to kill him. Like, we can't let him come in 30. Like, how much they beat him by? We got to beat him by double. All right? They done thrown this poor girl into the middle of the meanest beef in the WNBA. I feel so bad.
Hey, we gotta get to one of these super chats because Professor Chaos. I see what you said. We're not talking about that. But Christopher said he canceled himself for good. Yeah, he did. 100%.
Probably should have happened 10 years ago. Professor Glay. Oh, okay. He sent this in another one. All right. Somebody said the Aces have shooters. Dog, have you watched them play?
They're really good. They're really, really, really good. They're really good.
Diana Taurasi was 7 for 7 for 3, and they lost by 10. Okay.
The only way to really describe it is like that's the 2018 Warriors.
Yeah, they the KD Warriors, except for they built from within, so they not ran by a fraud like Bot. No, I'm not.
All right. Is there anything you want to say so we get out of here on the bonus pod? Like anything else you want to say?
Hey, dog, they did that to the Mercury, and they didn't even have Chelsea Gray there.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Hey, man, I hope she fights back and just puts up a 30 bomb. Like, she might lose that game, but just let us know. This is going to be an important game on Saturday. Like, you know what? We don't expect you to win no more, but fight back. Please fight back. I don't know. Like,
please fight back.
You know how unfortunate this schedule was? She's playing like 3 of the best teams. She got the Aces in like a couple of days afterwards. She got like the best teams in the league just lined up all on national TV. Whew. Whew. Hey, this is how Kobe's are built. I would like to remind people, Kobe did not start day one. Kobe got this kind of treatment too. And that's kind of why he's like that, right? He was going to make sure there was never going to be a day like this. And I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark is in a room by herself somewhere, be like, they ain't never going to happen like this again. Okay, they ain't never gonna do me like this. I had 5 of what? Like, whew, this is how Kobe's are built. Like, you saw what they did to your boy early on in the 90s.
I know.
Hey, because he was in the house too, like kicking with LL Cool J. They was doing him all kind of dirty, dog. Like, this is how they built. So,
those three air balls in the playoffs created a monster.
Hey, so if you're a Caitlin Clark fan, don't worry. This needs to happen. Like, this is how legends are built. Like,
created a monster.
Hey, because let me tell you something. This shit might be funny right now while Breanna Stewart is like 27, but there's gonna become a day where Breanna Stewart's in her mid-30s and Caitlin Clark decides it's that day. Like, it's my time. Or the next hyped up prospect that people want to give all the credit for evolution in women's sports too. Caitlin Clark will have something to say. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, she gonna be like, let me tell you what they did to me. Okay. And she got some spunk about her. She gonna talk all kind of shit too. Like, oh yeah, we in a good place. I think the W might be where we might want to spend our summers. Like,
Hey, we about to reach a whole new demographic. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. It's not even going to be a whole new demographic. I feel like this game appealed to the same people who've been watching this podcast. To be honest with you,
I hope so.
Like, what people be complaining about with the NBA? It's soft. It's not physical. The players like each other too much. Hey, watch this. Like, what you
Hey man, I don't think they like each other at all.
Hey.
That's what
Woo.
the game. That's what the game been missing.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me
Oh,
tell you,
man.
this is it right here. But y'all have a good one. Appreciate Cole coming on for the emergency. Y'all got 2.5. That's enough. Y'all got enough out of us.
2.5.
Anything else? We all good?
Yeah, we all good. I'm sure we might do another emergency pod once the trades break.
Did Kendrick
Turn the
drop?
off season. No, we ain't doing that no more. We ain't doing that no more.
Yeah, that's over with. That's over with. And I heard that shit at Target.
Oh yeah.
I was like, damn. He's done.
Oh, hey, just real quick on the way out. You know, if the Browns was on the road, we go hear that song, right?
I was wondering, and look, I'm gonna just let this be known. If you are a Brown social media person, like if you work for the Brown social media, we don't got to post the clips of the Browns dancing to that. Okay, we don't got to caption our wins like that. They just, stay away from it. Like,
Y'all just be prepared. Just be prepared now. If the Browns lose on the road, do we play any LA teams? Do we play any LA teams?
I don't think we do. I think the furthest west we go is to the Las Vegas Raiders.
That's kind of an LA team.
That's basically an LA team.
I'm just letting you know right now. They lose on the road, you go hear that song.
Cole, it ain't even got to make sense. We're going to see the ultimate hypocrisy if the Steelers beat us. Okay. Yeah, they will. Either way, that game is going to end in some massive hypocrisy because either we playing it or they playing it. Okay.
It's going to be bad all the time. It's going to be bad. You go hear the song. Just understand, you go hear the song.
Oh, that is going to be the song of beating your ops. Like, oh, if the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Cincinnati Bengals, Pat's going to be like, hit the music.
Just know you're going to hear one specific part if the Browns lose. You go, be honest, we going to hear it. You know we going to hear it.
Got a weird case. Why is he around?
I like the song too. I'll be sit there like
you're gonna sit there like Michael B. Jordan.
No, we're gonna sit there like Ish. We're gonna sit there like Ish on the Joe Budden. Just fake it like we don't like the song. Oh,
hey, what we absolutely do not need is like Deshaun Watson and Jameis like in the shot. No. Hey,
no, please don't
play that new gunner. You know what I mean? Like, play that new gunner.
Please, just have everybody involved. Just have some self-awareness, please.
Yes,
please
I'm begging the Brown social media team, stay away from it, dog. It's gonna be the jam of the summer. We can't enjoy it like that, Like,
oh wait, hold on. We play the Chargers,
but in Cleveland.
You don't think the social media team, the Charger social media team, 100% is gonna make sure.
I think they've been told from the league to chill out on that because you notice they didn't go there like they did last year.
Yeah, they did. They 100% went there.
Yeah. I think they've been told.
Relax a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta stop. They might be good. Like,
I'm telling you, if we lose that game, I don't think they're gonna lose that game. But if we did,
they ain't got no LA dudes on that team though.
You sure?
Who's like the most LA dude in the league though? Like that's the thing. We got DTR and he might be the most LA dude in the league. Like, so all we just show DTR dancing to it, Like in his pregame warm-ups because he not gonna dress this year. Like,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
now if DTR gets switched to a different team, let's say a op, and then they win, ooh, that's bad. That's bad. That's really, really bad.
Oh man. God, why are we like this?
Hey, hey.
Why are we like this?
Oh, you gonna hate this super chat. You
Oh
gonna
God.
hate this super chat.
Oh,
Hey,
we gotta
man. My guy, one more says, Q, you inspired me to re-listen to Mr. Morale. And you know what? As a man that went to therapy, that hits me. Cove, you got to listen to the album right before you put your kid to bed. It hit different. Look, man, Cove, in about 5 years, you'll listen to it and like it. You will never tell us, but you'll listen to it and like it. I know you will. Look, man, it's going to happen. It's a great album. It's a great album. Like,
Hey, one more said, if we lose to the Raiders, I don't care if we win every other game. I'm gonna still be mad and sick of that team. Hey, every time we lose to the Raiders, it's on some bullshit at the end of the game. It's always so bullshit.
yeah, something funky happens. Something funky
stupid happens. Something stupid happens every single time. I hate it. I literally hate it.
The Raiders game was the one where we ran Nick Chubb 3 times for 400 yards.
It was like 200, but
3 touchdowns. It was like 140. It was like 140, 2 touchdowns, 3 carries. Like legitimately, I think that might have been the stat line.
It was something stupid. And then they lost at the end of the game because they got the first down, but the refs didn't give them the first down. Like clearly got the first down. The refs didn't give it to them, said they were short, and then the Raiders came.
And then last time, I forget who we had playing quarterback.
What's
Garrett
his name?
Gilbert?
No. Dang, I can't remember.
Was he names. He was on the 49ers for a while, right?
Yeah.
Not Blaine Gabbert.
He played like the majority of the season for them.
Nick Mullins. Thank you, Mike C. Mike C got that one.
Nick Mullins.
Yeah,
they lost that game on a field goal at the end.
And then I forget who did, but somebody went to their car and cried after that. And I was like, stand up straight. Hey man, look, let me tell you something right now, Cole. No, dude. Nobody better go to their car and make no crying video if they lose to the Raiders in the regular season. I understand there's a time to let your emotions out and cry about things, but the regular season in week 4 is not that time. Okay.
Oh man.
Keep your tears to yourself. Damn sure don't record yourself. Like, what?
Yeah. Stop recording yourself crying, bro. What are we doing? Be a man. Be a man.
Look, I don't want to promote the Harrison Bucker agenda on this show.
Listen, that's not what y'all know what I'm saying, man. Y'all know what I'm saying. Don't do that.
Wow, Cove. I agree, huh?
I do not agree with Harrison Bucker at all.
You was in no comments, all caps. Agreed.
No, that man is a dickhead. Please, let's not do that.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, why we got to see it? You know what I mean? You could cry in private. We ain't got to see it.
Why you sharing this with us?
Why you got to?
I feel like you faking. You faking me.
You faking for likes and digital hugs.
I like how we have found a way to sneak lines of that song in here every podcast.
It's just in my head. It can't go. Like, his daddy a junior, he want to be. No, his daddy a killer, he want to be junior. Let it get shaky.
Marcus.
Say it.
Oh man, bro, I do not want to hear. I know I'm gonna hear he a fan. If we lose on the road, bro, I'll be so mad. Oh, like, damn it.
Oh, TJ Watt, if we lose to the Steelers, TJ Watt's gonna play that one section of Euphoria, and it's gonna be about Myles Garrett. like, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. like, like I feel like
Oh
that man
man.
hate Miles. Like Miles took
You
everything
know
from
he
him.
hate Miles. You know
Like,
he hate Miles.
it was his time to dominate the league, and then Miles shows up, and it is like no more. We don't care about what TJ Watt do.
Oh
Every
man.
time his name brought up, somebody got to talk about why he not that great of an athlete because of Miles Garrett. Like he got, and you know what I think gets him? I bet Mike Tomlin be low key riding for Miles too. Like,
Like, nah, he deserved it.
yeah, he's a hell of a player. Like,
But TJ's better though. TJ's better.
oh no, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But he know that fake. He got to hear Cam Hayward talk about how he wish he could do that. You know what I mean? Like, I know he just be sitting there mad. Like, bro, y'all don't think I'm like that?
No, bro. We think you good. We think you good.
Imagine hearing Dan Moore talk about, man, we play Miles this week, boy. I got to strap in. Like, but you won't strap in for practice?
Like, bro, why are you even taking it there? You know, I ain't even talk about you, bro. I ain't even talking about you. What you talking about?
And then Miles be like, oh no, it's all love and respect. And actually, he'd be like, man, you don't even see me as a threat.
Like, calm down, bro. What's going on? You good? Are you good?
TJ Watt with that one tweet has the personality trait in my head of short man energy. Like, because that was the most 5'5" tweet of all time. Like, wow, I guess they don't recognize me.
Like, shut up.
Should up. Remeasure him. Like, ain't no way he's 6'4" acting like that.
All you do is get praise all the time. You will be fine, man. You gonna be okay.
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. But between all that, this has been Q and Cole. Y'all have a great day. Have you a better night.